Wait for some folks to show up here and get our camera straight out, which is really something you should do before you go live. It's a little droopy. We'll try to adjust here. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. This never happens to me, I swear. Hey, we already got somebody in here. I swear to God, my phone said I was logged into the Agony Wolf Media account. Turns out we were on Robot Co-op. Take two. Yeah, thanks, Adam. Thanks for coming over, man. We were. This hopefully is going to be public forever. So we were over. I just got this new phone. I swear to God, it said I was logged into the Agony Wolf Media account. Turns out I was logged into the Robot Co-op account, so that was ridiculous. Agony Wolf Media forever. Yeah, cool, man. At least a little while longer. We're back. Nicola Wise. Oh, awesome. Hey, cool. We're already back up to 6 folks. We're pretty much almost back to where we were. Thank you. Yeah, so let's go tell Cogger Club we got some shenanigans going. I didn't tell anybody we were going to do this, just on the off chance things are going to be terrible. Not too bad yet. Okay, let's see. Let's go find the link. This is not too exciting for you guys to watch me doing computer stuff off screen. I promise it will get better. Gamer Brony. Yeah, I'm still planning on buying. It only displays your chat for a little. Still planning on buying all the ICBX movies. Thanks, man. Thank you. That's money right in our pocket. That's a huge, huge help when people do that. Move the laptop in the kitchen. Gonna clean and watch. Hey, cool, man. We're all just hanging out. Do what you gotta do. I'm doing what I gotta do. Just doing our chores together. Okay, so let's go to youtube.com/AgonyWolfMedia. In the future, try and do this stuff like before we start. Okay, how's the video quality? Because there's other folks in the household using the internet, and I don't want it to get too. I noticed people's live streams lately have been pretty bad, like quality wise. Been struggling with my money, paying for bills, buying games. Last time I got a great Switch and PS4 Pro. I have an addiction. Yeah, man. Games are like crack. Anytime I meet somebody who's not into video games, I'm kind of like, really? Have you played one? Pop out chat. Let's do that. I'm gonna get chat pulled up so I can really stay on top of what you guys are saying. I hate it when I miss comments. We're still working on Facebook right now. Okay, we got the URL. Ah, man, Facebook is so annoying with the thumbnails. You have to go to like the Facebook debugger app every time you post a video, because when you post it, there's no thumbnail. I feel like you have to you can't you have to make your posts as strong as possible. No thumbnail. I don't know why anyone would click on something without a thumbnail. There we go. We did the debugger. This is the obnoxious stuff you have to do every step of the way, man. Maybe now. Yeah, there we go. Thumbnail showing up now on Cogger Club. Come, what should we say? Just come hang? Come hang with me and the gang on the old Agony Wolf Media channel. If you think video games are bad, try board games. You a big board game guy there, Matt? Come hang with me and the gang on the old channel. Okay. You can always tell when the party is on. It's last legs when someone says, "Hey guys, Cards Against you." Yeah, I think Cards Against you. I mean, I don't know. Does Cards Against Humanity count as a board game? How long have you been sculpting this? Well, that's kind of a hard question to answer, because like total time working on it, a couple hours really, but I mean, like I have to do just a little tiny bit at a time. So in that sense, I've been working on it for a couple weeks. I don't get a whole lot of time to work on it. Okay, so we posted in Cogger Club. We'll post from the Agony Wolf Media Facebook. I don't know. Our Twitter following is pretty minuscule. I don't know if we'll bother with. No, I should do that too. There's a couple people who kind of stick to just Twitter. Joking Hazard. That would be a really good name for a comedy group, man. Joking Hazard. You've been driving your roommates nut with Kurgerbing shit. Yeah, man, their Kurgerbing thing really got out of control, didn't it? Sculpting a new Kurgerbing employee. Yeah, dude. Oh, man. Business is going to tank pretty fast if the employees look like this. They'll hire anybody. Haven't played a board game in years. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really get into board games that much. I got to be honest. Like, it's not because I don't like them. It's just I have like really bad social anxiety, and I don't know. I just something about it. I'm a nervous board game player. I don't know how. I don't even know how I'm doing this right now. If you guys were all in the room with me, I'd probably be like terrified and sweating. Okay, so let's go in here. We got that going. Come hang, Rikk. Come hang. Oh, working on. Sorry, guys. I got to do this little social media stuff, and we'll get right to it. Yeah, I can't come up with anything too catchy right now. I'm just gonna give the link, and we'll do Twitter real fast. I gotta figure out a better way to do this. If this isn't our one and only attempt at this, if this keeps up, I'll get better about this. We don't have to mess with any of this crap, and we can stay on top of things. Got 15 people in here. Awesome, man. I was worried because it was the old channel. I'm like, no, pretty good. We'll get back to Twitter in a minute. I really want to get interacting with you guys and maybe actually start doing something on here. Can we get stuff up on the iPad now? Because I can work and keep an eyeball on things down here and not have to worry about the phone. Welcome to Rikk Learns How to Live Stream. Live. Great. And we're not showing chat on the iPad. That's not helpful at all. Bummer. Okay. Well, yeah, huh. I'm wondering if this is an old version of YouTube and it's just not as fancy. So I'm going to actually close out of everything on this iPad. I'm just going to shut it off because I don't want it sucking up bandwidth and making the video quality go down. Let's turn this guy off. Get it out of the way. Okay, I'm going to get caught up on comments here. Okay, cool. 21, nice. Do you do this as a hobby or can you sculpt other stuff? No, not a hobby. And this is one of the first things I've ever sculpted. This is for, and I apologize if you know all this. This is for a science fiction, I guess you could call it a pilot that we're trying to shoot. And instead of doing traditional zombies, as I'm sure we can probably all agree, as much as we might like them, are kind of old hat at this point. This is a special kind of take on the zombie creature. It's a more futuristic take. It's someone who's been sort of engulfed in nano machines. And this is for a proof of concept / teaser trailer that we want to shoot as soon as possible to try and launch a Kickstarter for. And minimal sculpting involved here, just kind of the shape of the face really is all I had to do. And as you can see, you know, I'm cheating and using actual shapes and everything. I am proud of myself, though. I did get pretty good hexagons going by hand, but time is a real bitch on this project. So I'm cheating and using these little wooden hex blanks that are intended for jewelry. I'm using them for more sinister purposes. I'm not working up there. Let's go down here so you guys can see what's going on. 22, awesome, yeah. And if you are here, if you could take a second and just hit the thumbs up. I hate bothering people about stupid YouTube shit like that, but it does help the video out and helps it become a little more visible. Every little bit helps. So, let's see. Are we getting some folks showing up here from Facebook? Oh, I'm way behind on comments. Jesus, it was like frozen. Okay, let's get caught up on comments here. Rikk has mad skills. Thanks, Mark. Good to see you. I will suck out your soul. Yeah. First time looks great. Thanks, dude. Yeah. I mean, I probably couldn't carve like Nosferatu or like a zombie with all kinds of busted human anatomy showing, but you know, I'm pretty happy with it. Nano zombie was a weird expression on his face. Yeah, he's like, how did this happen? I want to make a language check. As soon as I found a pic, the first thing popped in my head was, "Where's Harry Potter sequel ever?" Where's Harry Potter sequel? I'm glad I decided to take lunch now for this. Yeah, hey, thanks, Car Ride. Hopefully we make your lunch a little more fun. Let's see. Gray Goose scenario. Yep, absolutely. And I feel like that's not really an apocalypse scenario that's been too heavily covered. Like, I can't think of anything really off the top of my head. At least, like, mainstream. Hex grid infections look well, too. Hex grid infections. Man. That sounds like dialogue that needs to be said. Rick, my last 3 questions about the eyes. Let's scroll back. I'm doing this all on my phone. I promise I'll get better at this stuff, guys. Shut up and take my gray colored glasses money. Thanks. Gray goo always creeps me out more than real zombies, honestly. Yeah, man, and like it's weird because I've been keeping up on nanomachine stuff lately because of this show, and like this shit's getting a little real, dude. Here for the beginning of the Rikk Empire. Man, I don't even know what to say to that one. Rikk Shantytown, maybe. Kickstarter, make it rain money on them. Yeah, that's kind of what our eventual goal will be with this. I really like your idea. I would so fund you, man. Thanks. Thank you, Legends. We will be very loud once the floodgates, hopefully the floodgates open. Never sculpted into drawing is what the expression looks like to me. Da, 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 da. Here we go, Andrew. I think I found your stuff. As important as the sculpt of the character is, I'm even more concerned about the eyes and if they will betray your initial concept of living trapped to wear a victim inside the nanos. Yeah, this particular one, this particular sculpt, like when I was first kind of toying around with these characters, no eyes at all. And I was finding fabric and things to try and obviously allow the actor that would be wearing them to see what the hell they were doing, and not just for that, for like safety purposes. This one I've decided both eyes. Some of them only have one eye, and what we're going to be doing is, yeah, I don't think we're going to even be giving anybody contacts or anything. You're just going to see the actor's eyes in here, and that's going to be kind of a fun acting challenge for them, is to try and convey violent actions, but have their eyes, you know, filled with remorse or horror. And every so often you'll meet one that's actually like into it, which I think is really creepy. And that's where things will get really interesting. You know, like the people that they don't have any control of their actions, and you'll get these like psychopath ones that, and you know, like this one, you'll be able to hear what they're saying under here. The nano machines don't really control what they're saying, at least in the script build we have right now. So, yeah, you'll have ones kind of taunting you, like, "Hey, man, I'm into this. I'm gonna murder you." So, and that's gonna be another challenge too. Is kind of like tonally, like it's gonna have that sort of like, I hate name dropping stuff to be like, oh, it's like this, but I don't know. I think sometimes it's maybe a necessary evil. It's gonna have kind of the Guardians of the Galaxy tone, or maybe Preacher might be a better tone. Where like, yeah, Preacher would probably be a better thing to. I don't know if you guys have seen AMC's Preacher, but it will have like really dark stuff and probably some pretty violent stuff, but the characters are going to be really humorous, and we'll have that kind of tone. I guess you could say, man, I was saying Ghostbusters tone originally when we were writing for it, where the threat is real and the characters, what was it I was saying? Silly character, serious situation, that kind of thing. So we'll see. Let's see, what are we saying here? Man, I gotta get the hang of keeping up with these comments. So we'll have to blog overseas. I'm really sorry if I miss any, guys. Agree with Andrew. The hook here is the idea of losing control of your body. Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing with zombies, man. I mean, and I know there's a few stories where they kind of give them some kind of drug and you come back from being rotten somehow, which I think is kind of ridiculous. But traditionally speaking, once you're a zombie, that's it, dude. And that's going to give our heroes something to really fight for because you don't kill these things. You knock them out using EMP weapons, and you guys can't see. I'm always a little worried about broadcasting stuff like this because you never know what kind of idea thieves might be lurking, but I don't think our reach is quite that wide. This video might disappear after a while. You don't know. Our heroes are going to knock these guys down, and this is an RFID chip, and they'll scan these, and then they'll be able to track their location. So the goal isn't to kill or put these people out of their misery. It's to sort of tag them almost like they're wildlife. And in the meantime, you work on figuring out how to get them out of this situation. And I think that's going to be a very different thing than what we've seen before. And you know, it's just in zombie fiction. It's just shoot him in the head, and that's the end of it. This is still an innocent person under here, and you're trying to save them. Okay, going back for comments here. Man, this thing does not scroll very well at all. How many people are watching this from Ukraine? Probably 10. Probably 5,000. If the averages are the same. Carry your nanotech in your breath every day. Once you're dead, you're all dead all the way. That's right. White water to make you not... Countdown vampires. The white water. That sounds like just a hilarious way to refer to milk. The zombie apocalypse will be mechanical, not biological. Yeah, and I mean, like, Baron Black, that's a hauntingly accurate assessment. You know, it's more possible from a technological standpoint, I think. Like the way the metal mouthpiece is erupting from the face, it's messed up in a cool way. Yeah, thanks, man. I really wanted it to kind of, you know, have this... I'm going to take the coolness right out of it and call it a butthole. But I did want it to sort of look like something that grew, and the rest of the nanos didn't quite maybe agree with it. And it's busting out. And it's a little hard, too, to picture this thing for me as an artist originally. I'm okay now, but I was using gray. I was using gray silly putty, which is a ridiculous thing to sculpt anything out of, but it was what was giving me the texture I wanted. And then I just wised up and started using monster clay and using sandpaper. So I'm going to do some boneheaded things. This is the first time I've ever had to do anything like this. But, you know, obviously, you know, you got brown clay here. These things are wooden. These don't match. This will all be gray and shades of gray and black when it's done. So you kind of have to visualize it that way. Whoa, now the chat works up. AMKR. Hey, Sean, what's up, man? Also consider ICMXP criminally underrated. Seriously, all that work and you have only a bit of... Yeah, dude. I mean, Gamer Brony 72. That's kind of what this is about. You know, we love ICWXP. We love those characters. They're very easy for us to write for at this point, and we really understand how they interact with each other and everything. And like, we love them. It's just. I don't know, man. I could go on about this for a long time, so I'm going to try to wrap my thoughts up on it. It's really a bummer. It has sort of started to weigh on us, and we don't quite understand. Like, obviously, like every living organism on the planet now is uploading to YouTube. The algorithm. People don't even really understand it. It changes so much. YouTube is very, you know, they play how that stuff works very close to the chest. And I can't hate them for it because if people figure out how the algorithm works, really figure it out, then you can abuse it. You know, and it's tough. It's a very mysterious thing. And it's almost like, you know, you have as much chance as winning the lottery at this point. So... This is Gray Color Glasses is kind of our bid to make something that could end up on Netflix. or Hulu, or Amazon Prime, or shit, even Crackle at this point. We'd be able to give it a shot. Okay. Ukrainian bots, welcome. That's how far behind I am. Chat works. Looking at how many shades. Yeah, Lyle, I think our first episode might be called 50 Shades of Grey Goo. We'll see. We'll see how old. See, that already feels like a dated reference, but I guess they just did put out a new 50 Shades of Grey movie, didn't they? Damn. How many of those are they going to do? No 50 for the love of Bob. This is Grape Ape. Doing great, man. Would have watched all the way through Secret of Mana. Coach Namtari shut that down. Yeah, man, the Secret of Mana thing, people got burned on that pretty quick. It's a bummer. Love watching the videos. Don't ever mention that abomination of the series. Oh, 50 Shades. Yeah, I've never... I mean, anything that started off as a Twilight fanfic, I mean, I can tell I'm not going to probably find a whole lot there to that appeals to me. Like hearing bits of the story. Very Philip K. Dick. Yeah, I guess it is. Sucks that you guys do actually hard work but have a low following, while those that just do things like open boxes get way more followers. Yeah, dude. It's been rough. It's been real rough these last couple of years. I mean, trying to get it on YouTube. I have friends that will start YouTube channels, and they'll have more subscribers than we do in 6 months to a year, and they are just kind of doing like lifestyle bloggy stuff. You know, it's tough if you want to make like a real like an actual TV show. If you want to make something that's narratively driven, or even something that's not narratively driven, like, I mean, our DVD series is very story driven, but like Robot Co-op isn't. That kind of stuff. It's, I don't know. It's kind of the Facebook effect, where like if you go look at Facebook, people respond to like selfies and like cute pictures of your dog. Like I can post a picture. I can post a cute picture of me like cuddling with my dog, and get, you know, close to 100 likes or reactions, easy. And if you post a video that's like something you and your friends worked really, really hard on and really put your soul into, it'll get like maybe, I've seen stuff get like maybe 4 likes, probably less than that. It requires a big time commitment, I guess, is the thing. Like with a picture of a cute little pet picture, it's like you've digested it instantly. And it's like, oh, like, yeah, I like that. And I ain't hating people like pictures of my dog or anything, but it is a frustrating thing to have to deal with. Let's see. 20 people, 20 likes. Wow. Oh, it looks like somebody delivered a super chat somewhere around here. I can't miss that. Where are we at with that? I will start monitoring comments on something else other than this phone as soon as I can. Mark Andrew Edwards, thank you for the $2, my man. Let's see if this super chat thing works. Yeah. Gotta thank you. Was there anybody else that did one? I think, Mark, you might have been the first super chat ever on Agony Wolf Media. Thank you so much, sir. I've seen someone set up a Twitch account for their dog, over 1,000 followers. Yeah, dude. You can't compete with the pets. I'm sure you missed my question, but will the human underneath have temporary clear-headed thinking after being hit by EMP, aware of the horrors they've committed? Well, Adam, the way it works right now is their thinking isn't affected at all. They're completely aware at all times as to what they're being forced to do. And sorry I missed your question. Yeah, that's kind of the I don't want to say gimmick, but it's kind of the shtick, whatever you want to call it, to these things, is you're fully aware all of the horrible shit you're being made to do, and we don't have them. I'm thinking it right now, like cannibalism's a little bit too close to traditional zombies. We don't think we want to do that. They kind of strangle you right now and try to infect you, but we also have this we still have some big decisions to make. We do have some script. We do have a couple scenes done. We have a proof of concept all done, ready to go to be shot. We still haven't figured out everything. Right now, we have it set up to where if you don't have one of these RFID chips, they can't really infect you. So people who sort of said, I don't want one of those stuck in my brain, they're the ones that are the survivors out there, and they haven't, the nanos can't really get into their system. So don't ask me about the science behind any of that just yet. I would think if nano machines really wanted in, they could find a way in. But we'll get somebody smarter than me in here to get some techno babble drummed up to explain that. And that hopefully doesn't just feel like bullshit techno babble. Has some basis in reality. Nano zombies love Kurgerbing. Yep, they endorse it. Science, of course. Maybe like you can disguise certain illicit computer activities by avoiding upgrades. Yeah, there you go. Second, the Hitman videos, also the original Resident Evil remake. Yeah, fun stuff. Love doing those. Wildly struggles with making another curve. What Kurgerbing jokes exist that haven't been made already? I mean, probably thousands. First Fallout 4 and Resident Evil 7 videos are good too. You guys are talking about our old stuff, which is silly to say. It's only a couple years ago, if that. Love doing those videos, man. I love making funny commentary. Give Topsy a fidget spinner and man bun, and yeah. That or just give him some boobs and stick those in the thumbnail. I mean, people aren't picky when it comes to boobs. They'll dig on some robot boobs, right? Seen someone set up a Twitch account. Okay, I think I'm caught up. Am I caught up on any of your story questions, or Adam? Where's your trademark Kurgerbing Empire? Fences and Gates is great, but not many go well with a sci-fi crowd. Yeah. That's been a tough thing, man, because it's like I don't think it ever really crossed our mind to go. I guess it did cross our mind to go start another channel called Agony Wolf Media and just kind of leave Incognito Cinema Warriors there as a sort of monument or memorial to that show, because it's so hard to get subs, dude. Like, so we decided to change the name. So this way, you know, I mean, if we do upload more stuff on this channel, it's probably going to be Gray Colored Glasses related, or we have a few musical projects in the pipe that will be, you might see a music video or two pop up. Silent already had his Battlefront stream completely new. Nice, man. Nicola Wise doesn't miss anything. You guys are making all kinds of references. Okay, cool. Yeah, I did a cover of the Megas Metal Dance. Like, God, it's probably like 3 years ago now I did the cover. And if you, I don't know if you guys saw, but I made a really pretty sweet Metal Man helmet. And I've been meaning to make a music video for it for like years now. And I've even talked to the Megas about it, and I'm like kind of embarrassed because I have not had the time to shoot it. I mean, I could just do kind of a like low effort little performance music video, but I wanted to go a little more all out than that. But at this point, I might just put up you know, some artwork and just get it up so people can hear it. It's really tough to juggle all this stuff. Metal Man riff, right? Yeah. Any mock-ups planned for partially infected, less complete models with human parts sticking out? Absolutely, Andrew. I don't have them here. I wish I did. Yeah, this is like advanced stage infection, obviously. We do have little prosthetics made out of silicone for little infected areas where it hasn't spread too much. And we do have one where it's kind of just the front of the face and wraps around back. It kind of, right now the way it works is it spreads out from this RFID chip. So we have ones that are kind of like a splat shape, and then they're kind of originating from there. This is, we kind of set that aside a little bit, and we're working on really infected stuff right now. Speaking of, still the crap out of rapid fire backstory for playing with myself. Yeah, man, those were fun. I wish those had gotten some more views. X-Man Bun Haver. I can definitely say Topsy could pull it off. You've rejected the man bun, the Church of the Man Bun. New MST3K has to change a little. Would you prefer Fox to handle MST3K with grace? Huh. I'm not sure why grace is in quotes. Yeah, I've kind of kept quiet on the new MST3K for sure. I'm not really in a political position. That's kind of hubris to say. I'm not on the playing field, but I haven't really. I've kept out of it. It's really seemed to polarize people a lot. So I've kind of. I hate to be political like that, but I have mixed feelings about it. I'll just say that. I need to finish watching it. I only got about halfway through, and it kind of got a little weird for me to watch it. Full music video of Don't Eat Ravioli. God, I wish, man. I wish we could do all this stuff. There's just not enough manpower. Still deserve to go to hell for kids. Leave Firefly. Sadly, my lunch break is over. Loving the Nano Zombie. It looks... Can't wait to see more stuff for the gray color glasses. Have a good day, Rick, and everyone in the chat. Thanks, Crow Ride. Thanks for hanging out, man. I hope the rest of your day is delightful. Breeze Kills stuff. The cool idea of using clear layers built up with colored veins that showed the human underneath and showed the spread of the infection. That's a cool idea, man. Still need to torture Topsy with RE0. Oh god, yeah. Yeah, I wish, man. I wish we could just do everything. It's the riffing. There's just too much of it. Can you believe that? Yeah, that was one of the things that leapt out at me immediately, because when we first heard from Riff Tracks, the first thing, the bit of constructive criticism they had for us was, "Hey man, slow down. You guys are funny, but you really need to pace the jokes out better." And I still feel like we struggle with that, because it's really hard to make something that's scripted feel natural. I mean, the further back you go, probably the worse it gets with our stuff. If you've ever endured our very first episode, Bride of the Gorilla, I mean, I kind of cringe when I watch it, so I haven't seen it in years, but we're talking on top of each other, basically, and we're kind of loud and obnoxious. There's a lot of, like, yelling. I feel like there was a lot of yelling for some reason. I don't know. Mid-20s, we just had more energy. I don't know. But I do remember the last time I watched it, it was like, Jesus, man, leave some room to breathe between these jokes. And I feel like we still kind of struggle with that. I'm super anal about how much time passes between riffs. Like, I really think that's really important. And that was something I did notice. It was a little like, whoa. Somebody described us as the speed metal of riffing once. And I was like, oh, that's cool, man. And then I saw the new MST and was like, damn, dude, they're riffing faster than I think we ever have. That's crazy. Let's see. Alas, I have to go to Surf and Turf supper, but sometime this week I'm checking my budget for Patreon availability. Thanks, Lyle. Appreciate it, man. Like, take care of you first. Anything you can spare is just amazing. Thank you. Have a good supper. I think that's because they had riffs from the backers. Oh, that's an interesting idea. Maybe. Let's see here. It's the riffing. There's just too much of it. Can you believe that? Let's see. MST3 Kickstarter had a pledge for them to those riffs show. That's the thing with Ice is Kung Fu. You guys really let it breathe. Thanks, man. Rainy afternoon where I live, so this is a good way to spend my afternoon. Yeah, cool. It's pretty rainy here, too. So are we to pretend Bride the Gorilla never existed? I mean, I try to, man. I don't know. Some people say it's fine. That's the trouble with my brain, man. Like, I can only see, like, things I did wrong, and you like the lighting and stuff, and of course like the laugh track. And like as a creator, you want to go in a time machine and go back and kind of fix that stuff, and you can't. You have to just rectify it in new content. So no, I mean we referenced Bride of the Gorilla in our Secret of Mana playthrough. It's canon. It's canon. It happened. Man, we're going for 35 minutes. Jeez. I can hang out for probably another. I can probably hang out for another hour. Streaming is lagging a bit for me. Yeah. That's not good. Sorry about that. Only got so much bandwidth here. It's good to have older stuff to measure your current self. Yeah, that's true. Still keep all my art even if it's bad so I see my progress. That's a really good point. Buy a copy of Bride of the Gorilla for yourself. It's a great addition to your collection. Yeah. Yeah, I mean that was, you know, I think that was part of the fun of MST3K was watching them go from rags to riches in a sense. If you go back and watch that KTMA stuff and you watch the last season, it's like, wow, that the quality came so far. If you want to see Bride of the Gorilla, there's a little cheat code. You go to icwxp.com/donate and donate exactly $12.56. And that's the little code. And make sure you have a shipping address, a default shipping address associated with your PayPal account. And magically, in a couple days, or the better part of a week, you'll get a copy of Bride of the Gorilla. And, God have mercy on your soul. It's worth every penny. You guys are so nice. Topsy could play Battleborn. Me and my buddy constantly riff the hell out of that game's co-op. Battleborn. Okay. I'll check it out. Love you too. They're all good. All of the first season stuff is quality. Thanks, Mark. Bride of the Gorilla, ICWXP, or regular version? I mean, don't ask me what I would prefer to watch. I would probably prefer to watch it without our riffing, so so we can redo it. If we had time and resources, man, we would definitely like re-riff it and everything. In fact, I've wanted to for like years redo that, and I kind of wanted to do a special like sort of epilogue episode of ICWXP set after like whatever goes down in our quote unquote final episode, and have the guys kind of fantasize in a way like, what if we started out the way we are now, watching that movie, and it would kind of flash back and have an interesting reimagining of Rikk and the bots first meeting each other and re-riffing that movie. And we would have to set it up that way because the puppets look so different now, and they're going to look even more different by the time 206 is over with. So we would have to devolve them to make it seem like it was in continuity. It'd just be too hard. 207, Return of the Bride of the Gorilla. Yeah, basically. That's the idea. But don't know if we'll ever get to make that happen. I meant what would we get if we sent money for the Bride of the Gorilla? If you go and donate at icwxp.com/donate, you'll get the ICWXP episode. Has Topsy seen the world of Minecraft yet? Probably. Any Captain Whisker shirts left? Missed out on those. That's the cool thing. If you go to, I gotta double check this URL. We had a local printer do the first run of them, the Captain Whisker shirts. Spreadshirt.com. I'm double checking a URL for you, my buddy. Yeah, and those sold out real quick. We couldn't really afford to have any more printed off at our local printer. If you go to icwxp.spreadshirt.com, maybe I can go and drop this in a chat link so you don't have to type all this in. You can get one anytime. They're made to order. There we go. Cool. Yeah, I'll pull up chat over here on my Mac. Be able to keep up a little more on things. Okay, cool. Considering buying another. Okay, cool. So, I think somebody asked earlier what these are. These are actually BBs. that I'm putting in there. And what size are they? Can't quite remember. Steel BBs. 4.5 millimeter. Yeah. I was very foolishly buying like overpriced jewelry beads and things from like Joann's, and then it dawned on me these are basically BBs. That these little things I'll pay for, and they have the little holes in them to put a necklace through or a bracelet or whatever. And I'm like, oh, BBs don't have that. It's just one of those. It's just another tough thing, man. Where it's like your brain is kind of scattered across all these different projects, and sometimes things that just seem so obvious will elude you for months. It's rough. Let's see. Once again, I'll donate money for you, but don't spend it on blackjack and hookers. No promises, man. Gotta live in the moment. I wouldn't know. I don't know how to play blackjack, and I wouldn't know what to do with a hooker. That makes me sound like a 12-year-old. I know what you're supposed to do with a hooker. I just don't think I would want to do that. And you know, my girl would probably frown upon that. I hope she's not watching. Guys are telling me to do dirty stuff. All right, off to see Deadpool 2. Much love, man. Nano Zombie Slime. Thanks, Mark. Thanks for the super chat earlier. I've heard good things about Deadpool 2. I hope you can confirm all of that awesomeness for me. I was quoting Bender from Future. Yeah. Oh, you were, weren't you? Yeah. That is a Bender quote. Is Futurama like totally done? I think they are, aren't they? Because they kept like getting revived or like network hopping. I think it is totally done now, isn't it? Futurama. I love that show. I think Bender might have seeped into my subconscious a little bit with Flux. They're done. Oh man, they're triple done. That's rough. That sucks. I'm gonna go check up on Cogger Club and see if that post went through. We're up to 23 people. That's pretty sweet. Let's see. I'm gonna start putting hex blanks on this guy here in a second. That should be a little more fun than watching the tedium of the BBs. Wow. It is Saturday afternoon. Cogger Club. We got one like on the stream link at Cogger Club. Oh boy. Thanks, Scott Bear. I don't know if you're here, but thanks for liking. Ouch. I think it might be time to hit up Twitter. Yeah, I'm gonna go post this from my personal Twitter. That's like we were talking about earlier, man. Like my personal, I finally got on Twitter with like a personal account, and without even trying, I've got 70 followers. I've only been on there for like a week, maybe. Posted a few times. It's weird. There seems to be like kind of a pushback against anything that seems like some kind of a corporate entity. I don't know, because it's like, oh, Agony Wolf Media, some kind of company. You know, people just don't want to. I guess that's just natural. You want to interact with people, right? So I don't know. So we'll post the link here to everything. Let's see. What's chat saying? Multitasking, man. It's the pits. What are we saying? Matt needs a nap. Hopefully it's still going on 3 hours from now. Maybe. I don't know, man. I gotta catch some sleep. Have a good nap, Matt. Talk about your Nano Zombies. We'll be back on Nano Zombies in just a second. Trying to stir up some more folks. They were on Comedy Central last. Huh. That seems to be where shows go to get booted, I guess, man. Well, no, I'm thinking sci-fi when I say that. Or sci-fi, as they're called now. Okay, let's get the link to this stream, and we'll share it on the Twitter. Sculpting a creature. Come hang. Okay. I'm going to post that for my personal Twitter. All right, Rick, you're kicking wholesale ass here, and I've never had more fun watching a show than yours. Venture Brothers, Red Dwarf, and well, it's up there. Man, that's thank you. That's amazing. All influences, all of those definitely. Red Dwarf, especially. They are, but sci-fi makes me sad. They awesome. Yeah, sci-fi is. Oh, Jared, do you mean sci-fi in general, the genre, or do you mean the network? Both are in pretty bad state right now, so I guess it doesn't matter which one. MST3K is getting a second season on Netflix. We'll have more controlled riffing, hopefully, than too much of it. We'll see, man. I mean, they'll probably listen to the criticisms and stuff. They're not like the current regime at Star Wars. They're just going to double down on stuff people are being very vocal about not liking. Just double down on shit. The network, well, some sci-fi can be a bit too grim sometimes. Yeah, I think the grimmest sci-fi I think I can get into is like Terminator. Like the first one. The second one obviously had a lot more humor in it, but it's still yeah, there's a lot of sci-fi out there that I'm just like, this is miserable. I love Blade Runner as an adult, but for a long time I couldn't get through that movie. It's very, very kind of grim and slow. Do you guys like the new Blade Runner 2049? I liked it a lot better than the original, actually. That's probably blasphemy for some people to hear, but it was more of a detective story. I think in the original, Decker, he didn't really have any detective work to do, really. He was it was just sort of apprehend the replicants, right? The protagonist in the new one actually had a mystery to solve. I thought that was pretty cool. I'm trying to straighten this out for you guys so you're not getting crinking your neck watching this. Okay, can we do pop-out chat so I can close this? Because that's just sucking up bandwidth we don't need. Okay, there we go. Cool. Can see you guys full screen over here now. Try to stay up on things. Do you play any sci-fi games? Are you meaning video games or board games? Anything like that? See, this is a tough little area I'm in right here because I left a space for some hex blanks. And kinda, I'm learning on the fly here. You probably need to set the hex blanks first because I'm kind of in a little bit of a pickle right here now. BBC America Channel gets a lot of sci-fi now. Stargate SG-1, Stargate Atlantis, Star Trek. That's all great stuff right there, Adam. I love Stargate SG-1. Terminator at least had hope in the end. Yep, it did. That made the ending pretty powerful. I like Joel's series Other Space. Yeah, I meant to see that. It was on something weird though, wasn't it? It was like on like Yahoo. Something or other. I never got to look at it. It looked funny. It had I want to say her name's Amanda Tapping. Is that her name? Carter from Stargate. I love her. She's awesome. She's really funny. I may have had a crush on her as a young boy. Like the new Blade Runner. Yep. Loved it. Best movie of the year for me. Wow. Some of you in your stage. Let's set up with those balls and Blade Runner. Just donated. Oh, thanks, man. Now, dorky question. When I get around to ordering the other episodes, which is easier on you? Order on DVD or just a digital download? I do what's easier. More money for you. We make a lot more cash if you buy on physical media. So, yeah, that's kind of where I would steer you if you want to help us out more. The downloads are like half price. You know, you can't charge somebody like $15 for a digital download. You never sell anything. I think that worked out okay. I'm pretty pleased with that. I think I will probably set the hex blanks down before I go in with BBs from now on, though. That was a little challenging. It's on Yahoo, yeah. It was hilarious. I'll have to check it out. Amanda Tapping. I got her name right. Great. No problem. Physical media is. Thanks, AZ. It's worth it. It's a good thing I prefer physical media. Yeah, dude. I mean, I have a massive DVD collection, and I've got a few Blu-rays, but I like physical media too. It's really cool to open something, and maybe maybe we're all old men. I don't know. It just I see the benefits of both. I think they both need to exist. I don't want to see physical media totally wiped out, but it's strange, man. You'll see articles that are like physical media is still going strong, and then you'll see other ones like it's completely dead. So, I don't know. I'd have to look into it more. I can tell you like way more people download than buy physical stuff, which is kind of a bummer for our wallet. We're old men, apparently evil too. That's right. ask BuzzFeed. 88-year-old woman and 30-something body hair. Well, I mean, you've got some wisdom to capitalize on if that's the case, man. You've seen some shit. I feel like an old soul. It's like cringy. That sounds to say in that particular way. Digital media access can be removed. Amazon did it to some guy's Kindle a few years ago. What? That's not cool. I miss PC games on CD. The last one I tried to buy was XCOM, and it basically linked me to Steam. Was pissed. Didn't have internet at the time. That sucks. Yeah. You know what's funny, man? This is our new place, and I was at my folks' place recently, and my mom found a whole bunch of old PC games that I had completely forgotten about, and I found this. Iron Helix. I used to play this game, and I don't really have anything I can... I mean, I guess I could try to like run it in boot camp because I'm all Mac. But I went and looked it up on YouTube and rewatched it, and it's just crazy, man. The visuals, and more than that, the sounds. It just brought me right back to being like, God, when did this come out? Is there a... There's got to be a copyright on this somewhere. Had to be 90s. Early 90s. 1993. Jesus Christ. I suck at math. I would have been a young lad. A very young lad. Well, wait. No, I would have been 11. Remember playing it. God, chat is all the way on my phone, like way back. Like people asking about Captain Whiskers. Manuals were the best. Yeah, it was kind of an experience, man. You got all kinds of cool stuff. No interest on doing State of Decay 2. YouTube will be barfing up 1,000 Let's Play videos a day. I mean, I'm personally very interested in playing State of Decay 2, and in fact, we got a box from Amazon, and we had an Xbox and State of Decay 2 on our wish list, and they have vanished, so I'm pretty sure I know what's in that box. So I believe the next game we're going to be playing is State of Decay 2. Let's see. Chat seems a little froze over here on my computer. Modern retro gaming is going to be a very sad place since most gamers require internet access for single player. Okay. Probably. The chin, it's not jutting enough. Okay. So you want to see it come out more like that? I don't know. We kind of want them to look, I don't know. To me, that's going to create kind of a lantern jaw look. We don't want these things to look heroic. We kind of want them... You know what? It's funny, especially if you look at it here. I was shooting for kind of Foot Soldier from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles look. It's one of my favorite little action figures when I was a kid. And I kind of wanted to incorporate that look a little bit into these guys. Looks awesome. Thanks, man. For console games? Yeah, I'm a console guy. I always give my PC friend shit and call him the PC master race. But I would PC game if I could afford it. I was a PC gamer like back in the 90s. And this is probably going to make you roll your eyes if you're a PC guy now, but I just got kind of sick of having to update my graphics card constantly. It was like you had a couple months where it was able to handle shit, and then it was like, oh, you gotta go replace that. You can't handle Mist 3 anymore. You have to go upgrade. I'm sure. I was on like really cheap Franken computers too. I probably just needed to like pony up, but I didn't have any money. I was in high school. Only PC game I played is Oblivion, and that was mostly mods. I played Oblivion on like what that would have been Xbox 360, right? I think the last PC game I played back in the day was like Morrowind, actually. The last PC game I really played, as in literally last played, was Blakestone. I have that on Steam. I would love to do a Let's Play of Blakestone, man. But, you know, views are kind of something we're having to consider more and more. How will you upscale the mock for the final costume? Will you be able to modify a mold? Andrew, what this is right here, this will be molded out of Rebound 25, and we will use something called Dragon Skin Silicone, and a mold of this will be the mask that actors wear. And we'll probably have multiples of this exact design, and we'll try to explain away the budgetary limits as to why several of them look exactly the same, as there was a certain point where a signal was sent out and certain clusters, or whatever you want to call them, of nano machines, they think they're supposed to be in a certain arrangement, and you'll have multiple people get engulfed and they'll form in exactly the same pattern. Hopefully, if the show takes off and we're able to get some funding, you won't see repeats all that much. Oh wow, it's full size. Yeah. And this would actually be one that I can wear. I have a really huge head. I have just a massive noggin. I haven't come to realize in the last few years. Hopefully it doesn't get any bigger. I might have that thing that is it Ted Kennedy? I can't remember. One of the Kennedys has just a massive noggin, man. I hope I don't end up like that. But this is a really large bust. Hopefully I can wear this one, because I am going to have to, we're going to be doing a lot of green screen, at least early on, because that's the only way we can afford to do it. So I'm going to be playing some of these guys, actually. I may even be in shots attacking myself. We'll see. Guild Wars, Half-Life, Counter-Strike, Gmod. Yeah, I've played Guild Wars, man. In fact, I believe the missus is upstairs playing Guild Wars 2 right now. Played through the story mode on that. I don't know, man. I remember the first time I played an MMORPG. It was World of Warcraft. And I don't know what I was expecting, but it was, I don't know. Nobody would talk to me. It was like high school. But, I mean, that's just typical, like, noob shit, you know? And I was like, you know, the appeal of this was, like, playing in a big world with other players. And it was like, I don't have any friends. Nobody wants to help me. So, I don't know. And it was like, you know, obviously paid subscription. So I was like, I don't think I can justify spending cash on this. How long would you say the entire process of creating a mask like this takes? Longer than it should. This, like I was working on the one before this for like a year, probably. That's how little time I get to work on gray colored glasses because of our other projects. This one I've been working on for a couple weeks, I think. I have been getting more and more serious about getting progress done on gray colored glasses. This is a couple weeks worth of work here. If you want to get really technical, I mean, I couldn't tell you how many hours have gone into it, but I don't know, probably 4 or 5 days worth of hours, whatever the math is on that. So, but yeah, I mean, that's one of the tough things. I mean, I'll get a little real with you guys. Like it's been really tough. Like we love doing the content we're doing on Robot Co-op. We love all those characters, but I mean, we're getting a little older now, and the views just aren't coming in. And we have this idea for a sci-fi show that we think is really strong, and it's getting a little tough because it's like we can't work on it really. Like I can't work on it. We've been doing this, been sculpting masks. I actually have some weapons. I have those EMP guns in the other room. I'm working on a EMP revolver. So we have those to work on. We have Cordy, who you may have seen before. It's James's sort of pet robot. I have all of those things to work on for gray colored glasses, and it's really hard to work on, man. It's really hard to find the time. I only get like maybe a day or two a month really to like concentrate on it. So if we're gonna do something a little different on Robot Co-op this month, we're gonna be roasting a Funko Land training video. We're not gonna be doing a game, and I need to make a video letting everybody know that because I don't like the Patreon content to ever like be kind of a shock like that as to what it is. I want to let people know what's going on. We did a poll at the end of not the Hitman. Well, I guess it was Hitman. We did a poll at the end of our last episode. It's like, hey, what should we riff next? And people voted for us to riff a '90s Funko Land training video, and we're gonna roast it. It's not gonna be like a typical riff. We're gonna have all the characters sitting on a couch, and it was so chatty. There wasn't any room for riffs. I know some people don't care, but I really don't like talking over the dialogue that's in something. Some people don't mind it, I guess, but I kind of hate audio chaos like that. And it's gotten worse the older I've gotten. Like I can't stand the sound of two people talking at the same time. Uh, some people just talk over the dialogue. I don't know. I don't like it. So, if you remember our Resident Evil, uh, what was that movie? Retribution? Was that it? I don't remember. Ice WXP 2, episode 2 of 3.5. We kind of roasted the trailer briefly in a segment where, we'd let some setup roll and then we would cut to live action of the characters delivering a riff. It's going to be like that. And it's also going to be kind of a reaction video. We'll have like a little bit of a discussion. And we'll see if that translates to more views. And if it does, we may have a little less focus on gaming stuff. Which, I mean, that's the bitch of YouTube. If you make a video that really, well, not really, if it does better, like considerably better than your usual stuff, you kind of have to like steer the ship in that direction, man, if you want to get somewhere. And it may not necessarily be what you set out to do. I mean, and if we had adhered to that, I'm pushing these in, this has got to stop. We would have done movie reviews like the Resident Evil episode. We would have been doing those and soda knockoff videos and nothing else, because those are the most successful videos we have. The movie review thing, though, that was just like logistically and financially, like that cost a lot of money for us to shoot. We had to go rent a movie theater to go film in. It's really stressful to shoot all that. And the soda knockoff stuff, I think we bought the spittoon to spit in, and that was about it as far as props went. So that was pretty not financially taxing. It was Retribution. Okay, they all blur together, the Ari movies. Yes, they do. Plot hole spelunking. We tried to do a plot hole spelunking on its own. I think it got a few views. It wasn't what we had hoped for. Ever watched Face Off on Siffy, the Makeup Effects show? Yeah, my girlfriend Bethany was really into doing special effects makeup for a couple of years, and we would watch that show together. I've met a few people that have been on there. It was really fun to watch. I can't stand the reality show like inserting drama where there is none. I don't remember if that show was really bad for that or not. But I do remember moments where like someone would say something sort of dramatic, maybe, if And then boom, they'd have the huge mammoth audio hit. And the music, that stuff just really gets on my nerves. Let's see. It always sucks to see the level of commitment and effort not taking off. It'd be cool if a major content creator helped to boost viewership like H3 did with Captain Disillusion. I saw that. I saw Captain Disillusion was on the H3 podcast. That was so cool of Ethan. Yeah, man, that's rough. I mean, he definitely, man, that guy puts in a lot of work. It's tough because you kind of have to look at things like views and subscribers on YouTube as money. And you have to have a certain amount of money for people to, I mean, it's just like real money. I mean, if you're if you're where we're at, you're basically out on the street. You're a hobo and like people don't want to make eye contact with you. And it's so weird. It's gotten so weird now, man, because the quality of what you're making is kind of beside the point. It's not as important as you think it would be. It's your traffic. It's what it's how many people are coming in. So I mean, that's why you can't really get collabs going, because we always get people going like, well, just hit up this YouTuber and do a collaboration. It's like they won't talk to us, man. Like if you have, what do we have now? We have like 1,200 subscribers on Robot Co-op, right? I think we have 1,203 as of today. That's like having $1,203, or maybe even more, like $12.03, and walking up to like a millionaire and expecting them to like go into a business deal with you. It's like they're not even going to talk to you, man, because there's nothing in it for them. Because the whole point of that stuff is like, we do a collab together, you get some of my fans, and I get some of your fans. And if you have a staggeringly lower amount of fans to offer, subscribers, it's just like, they're not going to talk to you. And they're probably insanely busy too. Like I used to get a little kind of like if I wouldn't hear back from someone early on, and then later the business has picked up for us a little more. It's like, man, it's possible they never even saw it. So you kind of have to not get butthurt about that. Mountain Dew knockoff test still happening? Absolutely. We got our first shipment in from somebody a couple days ago, and they sent us a lot. I don't know who it is yet. We're gonna unbox it on camera, I think, as a thank you. Are you excited for new Resident Evil movies? Yeah, actually. I'm trying to be a less negative person. I want to believe that someone is going to get it, that is going to pay attention to the large amount of people that do not like what Paul W.S. Anderson was doing with those movies. I've started to realize, like, I need to stop giving Milla Jovovich such a hard time. She didn't write that shit. She's just doing what her dunderhead husband tells her to do. So, yeah, I'm hoping something atmospheric and moody, and actually starring characters from the games. I'm really bummed that Arkley thing didn't get picked up. If you guys have seen it, the proof of concept for Arkley, which was to be like a prequel to Resident Evil 1, that's online now, man. And like, yeah, it's real low budget, but like, man, with some money, that would have been perfect. And like, I was apprehensive because it's starring another character that's not from the games or anything, but in the timeline it's in, that's kind of okay. And I thought it was really well done. And I'm really bummed out that got passed on. Let's see. Fingers crossed for Resident Evil movies reboot. I'm not fully sure until I see something from. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to be very apprehensive about it too, Adam. You guys hear that the guys who make RE movies are doing a Monster Hunter movie? Yeah. Not excited. Anytime Paul W.S. Anderson and Mila Jovovich are working together, there's no reason to expect anything good to come of it. Really sounds like YouTube isn't fun anymore. Yeah, I mean, it's not. I like the technical side of YouTube a lot, actually. Like the cards, those are super cool. You can link to like anything, sort of, and it's really cool to like reference something and then link people to a video of it. I love that, but at the same time, it's like, you know, someone said to me like, dude, maybe don't do that because you got to keep people on your channel, especially now that watch time is such a big deal. Because it's always fun to like reference something kind of obscure and then link people to it and introduce them to it. But I guess you kind of have to just say like, if they're really interested, they're going to go look it up on their own. Because you got to keep them on your channel. It's so cutthroat and so brutal. And yeah, I love like the end screens. I don't really have any complaints on the technical side of YouTube. I really like it. But these are getting all jacked up. The finding an audience, it's just, and like the stuff we do is not, it's really, it takes a lot of brain power, man. It's very time consuming to shoot stuff. Even just, you know, robot co-op where it's just two talking heads. That takes a lot of work. And it's rough. Adam, are you going to have something coming out of the part where the RFID chip on its face is, like wires, protruded veins, or something like PC chip patterns? No, where the RFID chip is I mean, you're kind of looking at how it's going to be in the final thing. You might have some more hex links sort of spiraling around it. I don't know quite what we're going to do on this guy yet. I was playing around with ones that had tons of chips kind of coming out. Like, and the idea is that the original one self-replicated itself. We may still do that. We may have one that's covered in RFID chips. But this is pretty much what it's going to be like. We want to have kind of a clear area for the heroes to be able to scan these things and start tracking them. So when and if they figure out how to pull people out of this mess without killing them, they know where to find them. Okay. It's like chat is kind of chilled out, guys. Cool, makes sense, Adam. Yeah. I might go try and, let's see. I'll retweet from the Agony Wolf Media Twitter from my personal. See if we can get some more folks onto what we're doing. Discard. Let's go track my personal Twitter down. And we can get some more coggers in here to hang with us. Somebody retweeted. Who did that? Matt Nelson. Thanks, Matt. I'm just buying the knockoff Mahaga. I'm not cool enough to know what that means. Mahaga? Okay. Here we go. This is a tough little thing, man, to try and get this stuff spaced evenly. This clay is great to work with. It's monster clay. Because I was playing around with other kinds of clay, and they dry out and shrink up on you. It's not anything somebody who has to sort of work sporadically on a sculpt can work with. This is monster clay, and it's wonderful. It's never dries out. The stuff is just a miracle. So it's perfect for this project. Because, I mean, I don't know. I don't want to say you could walk away from it for 6 months or anything, but you could probably stand to not touch it for a long, long time and still come back and work on it. I got to figure out what's going on back here, man. I haven't really thought about it a whole lot. probably just sort of sporadically get some hex blanks in there, and just gonna keep doing what I've been doing. I'm pretty happy with it. Let's see. Get caught up on chat here. Got an hour and 14. Probably hang out for another 15 minutes or so. 27 upvotes. Yeah, and if you guys haven't, again, reminder, go click the go upvote this. It helps the video be a little more visible. Some of that magic, mysterious algorithm crap we were discussing earlier. It's kind of funny, you know. It's like, well, the more likes you get, the more you'll become visible, and the algorithm will favor you. It's like, well, people can't find us in the first place. How are they supposed to give us upvotes? It's a catch-22. Everything's a catch-22 on YouTube. I have people saying like, "Oh, your videos are too long. You gotta make your videos shorter." And then at the same time, you get people going like, "Oh, you need to make your videos as long as possible because watch time." You know, it's just like, it's kind of maddening as a creator. Like, you just want to make your show, and you have to think about so much stuff. You guys are pretty quiet. Wondering if maybe my chat is froze up. This can't be this fascinating. Everybody's just watching. Let's see. Looks like a real hive mind. Yeah, we are here. Okay. Cool. Thanks, Andrew. I was afraid I was gonna have to start showing some skin to liven things back up, and nobody wants to see that. Trust me. Nope, just listening and doing multitasking. Cool. Thanks, Brian. Man Under Mask likes longer videos. Cool. I'm just chilling. Sleepy day. I'm your human Quaalude. Oh, man. Ice cream dude. I can hear him out there. You guys hear that? I don't know, man. Something kind of creepy about that. You can never see inside that vehicle. Ice Creeper. I'll watch a video of any length as long as I like the creator. John Wolfe is a good example. He used to upload very short, now does sometimes 1-2 hours. Yeah, dude, I love John Wolfe. Gavin Mason, did you find John Wolfe because we were talking him up, or did you find him elsewhere? Because I've been kind of pimping him for a little while. I love that guy. He's very dry and sarcastic, but not in... I usually don't quite go for that sort of stuff, but he's really funny. He can paste something out, and it's not like super joke heavy, and he's not trying too hard, but when he does one, it is like makes up for there not being one for a while. He's really good. He's really smart. Let's see. I'm just working, still listening. Great. Nothing's happier than the ice cream man jingle. Yeah. That's kind of why it's so creepy, right? I'm starting to have horrible memories of my dad chasing the ice cream truck in his underwear. Oh my God. Guy's got an ice... That's when you know you're addicted, man. Yeah, I can't bring myself to like chase after it. Like if it were to stop, because it doesn't stop, man. It just goes down the street. And you got to kind of chase after it and flag it down. And it's just, there's no dignity in that. Not at my age. Like if you're a kid, fine, but... Mr. Frosty from The Adventures of Pete, and Pete was a creepy ice cream man. It's not hard to be a creepy ice cream man. I always think of that old Cold Chamber music video for Loco. I think I happened upon each of your channels separately, but it was a happy coincidence that you already watched him too. Yeah, I watched John. I used to watch him like a lot more than I do now. It's not because of anything he's doing. I'm just super busy, but I will catch up on his videos. Every couple months, I'll go through and watch everything I haven't seen. I really like John. I think he's very funny. In college, I watched 5 grown men run outside for the ice cream truck outside our apartment. I was busy grabbing my wallet. Oh, man, you missed out. Yeah, it's nice. He's one of the few dry-witted Let's Players. Very honest reactions. Yeah, that's the thing, man. Like, this probably won't help us out at all, but I don't particularly, like, dig most Let's Players. Like there's only a couple that I really stick to, and that's Super Best Friends and John Wolfe, and that's really about it these days. I won't name drop any of these people, but yeah, I find a lot of them to be really like, why are you even bothering to record the commentary? Like, I guess we kind of covered that when we did that bit in Resident Evil 7. It's just like it's such a long amount of, like, you have to watch like 6 episodes to hear anything really funny sometimes, and it's just like, but that's kind of the weird thing. And that's kind of why I'm starting to be like, maybe you can't mix like really tightly scripted MST3K style commentary with Let's Play. Like, maybe they're oil and water. I don't know, because the kids that grew up without MST3K, because we're all old now, man. There's kids that have no idea what it is. They watch Let's Plays, and they kind of frown upon scripting it. Like, that's like cheating to them. I've heard that there's other Let's Play channels that script. I've never been able to find any of them. But for those kids, like, it's okay to have long silences sometimes, and it's okay that there's nothing really funny being, like, you don't even have to be funny at all. Like, I've watched Let's Play channels where like they're like, oh, jokes are stupid, you know? And like, they're I sometimes I worry that, like, coming from that world of like MST3K and riff tracks is kind of a kiss of death in a way, because you know, you got the kids and they don't like that you're scripting it, and they think that's weird. And but then if you go and do it impromptu, all the like MST3K people that want that A plus or close to A plus joke every other couple of comments, like, they're gonna get bored. It's really tough. So that's why we didn't know about co-op, and we tried to kind of have our cake and eat it too, and do the best of both worlds. And you know, we got the robots, and that stuff is scripted in a manner of speaking, and then the no-bot is just absolutely no script. You go on hot and hope the commentary comes out good. So, and neither have been really delivering on views. So I don't know. We got caught up on everything here. This is the hold music you get while I'm getting caught up on comments. You're welcome. Pete and Pete, Mr. Frosty character, had an ice cream mascot head and never spoke. Mr. Frosty, that makes me think of Clay Fighter, man. Tried to watch streamers on Twitch, and I found were titty streamers. I've never heard them called that. Cam girls? That's really funny. Man under mask. Titty streamers. I like it. People who said nothing and stared blank. Yeah, dude. It's funny you say that, man under mask, because I remember when Resident Evil 7 came out, and I was watching people stream it the day it came out. Just kind of trying to get a grasp on like what day one is like for a new game. And I shouldn't tell you the guy's name anyway. I'm trying to remember who I was watching, and it was someone streaming on YouTube. It wasn't Twitch. And it was just this like kid, you know, at the oldest, like early 20s maybe. And he was streaming the game, and this is day one, and he's already on the ship at the end of the game. And he's not talking. He's not saying anything. And if you look, I was watching the chat, and people were just like, this is making me sound super old now, touch, but the kids were just watching this kid play this game. He's not saying anything. And they're acting like they were watching the Beatles. Just, you know, like girls screaming for the Beatles. And like people were donating and saying, please say my name, oh God. And you know, it's like, it's just one of those moments, man, where you're just like, man, I think I'm getting old, because I don't understand the appeal of this at all. Like, I guess if you want to see the game, but just like, I didn't get it. You know, I just didn't get it. Okay, I promise I'm going to get caught up on comments now. I'm old enough to remember the trucks when they looked like Reggie's from Phantasm, bell and all. Oh, man. Yeah, they're like covered in stickers now, and they're blue. Kids have no taste. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much true. I was rewatching Spawn recently, and I remember being like 13 and thinking that was the most badass shit I'd ever seen. And I watched it now, and I was like, oh, this is a cringe volcano. Your Resident Evil remake Let's Play were the first videos of yours I ever watched. Thanks, Adam. Glad that. So Adam, did you found our Let's Play stuff before you found our movie riffing stuff? Let me know. Kids today think screaming racial epithets on live is witty and funny. Yeah, it's true. I love your MST3K style Let's Play videos. They're entertaining as hell. Thanks, Unigamer661. Very happy to hear that. We kind of live on Patreon, and we live on nice comments just like that. Thank you. They all love horrible movies and making fun of them. Yeah, that's funny, man. Like the ironic love has become such a huge thing. Now it's crazy. I just lost a BB. When I lose BBs, I bust out this guy. I just go all over the floor. Sabatru, I was trying to explain you guys to a 20-year-old coworker, and then I had to ask if he knew MST3K. Then he took a minute to watch the first few minutes of the RE7 video. Yeah, man, like, there's more people don't know about MST3K than do. Yeah, I think you can say that about just about everything, so that's kind of a hollow statement. But I have a friend trying to launch a Let's Play channel in earnest in Seattle, and man, are they bad at conversation. Yeah, you got to be good at that. Spread the word of MST3K, and I'll like it every chance I get. Thanks, Man Under Mask. Yeah, I don't understand the, like... I understand liking what you like, and I understand that the different riffing groups, really all two of them that exist in a mainstream sense. I understand liking what you like, but it's just that way with everything now. It's like, I like PS4, so by default, I must hate Xbox. It's just like, we really live and die on the people that are open to, like, other shows doing it, And there's sadly not very many. It's like, kind of plant their flag in the sand and say, this is my team, Let's see. Meanwhile, I've just started playing Resi 7 and can't get past the first molded encounter. They're tough, man. Yeah. I kind of gave Resident Evil 7 shit at first, because it was like, I don't want to play as this, like, normie. But I take it back a little bit, because it's like, it's all stupid because you can just change things with writing. Chris and Leon and Claire and Jill, they have become superheroes at this point. They've kind of become ridiculous with that, and it was a good idea to, like, do an everyman character, but it's irritating too, because it's like, why did you turn them into that? It's because of the movies. Like I said, now I'm Resident Evil triggered now. I'm gonna go on forever, but I gotta move on. Standby comment, kids have no taste. Yep, pretty much. They haven't developed yet. I want to be entertained. If I wanted to watch the game, I'd play it. There you go. Spawn sucked. Yep. Yep, it did. In retrospect, it sucked. McFarlane is an asshole. I know someone who worked for his toy company. Yeah, I mean, I've never really watched him. He's a very talented guy, but I've never really watched an interview with him and thought, man, this is... seems like such a nice, down-to-earth dude. But, that's always a weird thing. You have cameras rolling on you, you're kind of putting out a persona sometimes. Some people are. I try not to do that. But you're talking about, like, behind closed doors kind of business stuff, so that's kind of a different animal. Spawn is the embodiment of the 90s. Chains, dark pouches, too many spikes. You are absolutely right, Jared. Spawn is the 90s incarnate. Yeah, isn't McFarlane trying to get a new movie made? And he doesn't want Spawn to be the focus. He wants... I almost said Salmon Twitch. That's not right. The detective characters. It's been a while since I've read it or watched Spawn. I can't remember the two detective guys. He wants to focus on them. And like, I don't know, man. I mean, I appreciate subtlety and, you know, kind of, this has been a term ruined by The Last Jedi, subverting expectations, but I just don't, I'm just not interested in those guys that much. More interested in the guy that came back from hell, you know? Yeah, I found your channel when I was bored and looking for something related to Resident Evil on YouTube. Found your videos by chance and haven't really missed a video since. Love the humor. Thanks, Adam. That's one of the best things to hear, honestly. Thank you so much. His look is literally black suit, symbiote, Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, Cape, Ghost Rider, Oh, Deepa, you're right, dude. That's really on the nose. You hit it. Hey, remember It Came from Hollywood? I've heard that before, and I think I know what you're talking about, Brian. Is that the thing with Jay Leno that's got like stuff from Hideous Sun Demon in it? I think that's what that is. I remember Mad Movies on Nickelodeon. I never had cable or anything, so I don't know what that is. Deadly Mantis Cheech. Look out, it's the Attack of the 50-Foot Chicken Wing. Ever seen Faust? Talking about Spawn. Yeah, I have seen Faust. And I think Red Letter Media just watched it. So I made sure to check that out. That movie really surprised me because it had a metal soundtrack. And it has not aged well. It's got like Machine Head during their sort of like new metal phase. It's got like I immediately recognized Sepultura. So like 16-year-old me or however old I was probably older than that. I was like, oh, cool, dude. And then the movie was like, but that movie is a good bad movie. Like it's hilarious. It's hilariously over the top. I like Spawn. My dad took me to see the movie. I used to have the whole thing memorized. Wow. I have the Faust comics. Sam and Twitch are the detectives, really? Yeah, Sam and Max. That's what I was trying to avoid saying. Sam and Max were it was like a cartoon series, wasn't it? HBO cartoon was pretty good for what it is. Oh, I loved the HBO cartoon. Yeah, man. You had Keith David, right, for the voice. Like perfect casting. Toys are hilarious at times. I have the IKEA motorcycle set and couldn't swing the property rights for the stickers. So instead of Citizen, for example, stickers. Foss predates Spawn, just like the Wraith predates the Crow. That's right. I think they did get into that on Red Letter Media's review of the movie. I think they did say. I'm not sure if it was Spawn they were comparing him to. They probably were. It was like, ooh, wait a minute. There was a single good superhero movie. Was there a single good superhero movie from the 90s? I genuinely can't think of one off the top of my head. Meteor Man, dude. Come on. Or Blank Man. Or Steel. Was Steel from the 90s? It had to have been, because it would have been too silly to do a movie about John Henry Irons or whatever he was from Superman, and by the time the 90s were over. Yeah, I don't think there were any good superhero movies in the 90s. I can't think. There's probably one, and everyone will go, oh, yeah. Right, I'm not the guy to think of it. Mystery Men was good, but I know many people hated it. Yeah, I feel like Mystery Men, like, I immediately got into that because it was very similar to The Tick in a little way. You know, it had kind of like loser superheroes hanging out in, like, Seinfeld-esque locales. I watched it recently, and I thought, like, I don't know. I think it starts off really strong, and it kind of lost me at some point. Like, I feel like it didn't quite have the payoff I was hoping for. But it's a good watch. Mystery Men was pretty good. Did Sam and Max Telltale Games? Jesus, I gotta check that out. Comparing Faust to Spawn. Man, I love The Crow. So good. Yeah. I really connected with The Crow. I don't want to be a drag, but I was in a really serious accident when I was in 8th grade. I would have been, and I have sort of retrograde amnesia to a certain degree. I can't remember a whole lot before the accident. I remembered people okay, but like a lot of my memories were just really jumbled and kind of displaced after that. And I woke up in the hospital, and it wasn't that dramatic thing where it's like I don't know who I am and all that. It's not like that. Um, but I'd forgotten a lot of movies I'd seen and things like that. And the first movie I watched after the accident was The Crow. So it had a lot of impact on me and kind of shaped me a little bit. So I turned into this really mopey kind of goth kid. And when I say goth, I mean I wore like ripped up blue jeans and I had a long coat. And that was about as far as it went. And then that turned into a biker jacket and like Metallica t-shirts. I wasn't rocking like black lipstick or anything. Not that there's anything wrong with that. But yeah, Crow was a big part of my life for a long time. My girlfriend can't stand it. She thinks it's the cringiest. And it does some parts of it haven't held up. Like there's some pretty 90s-esque things in there, but I'll always love The Crow. I guess they're getting Jason Momoa is attached to the reboot now, right? I guess that could work. There were 4 Crow movies. Yep. It's a TV series and 4 movies. And by the end of the 4th movie, they had Edward Furlong playing the Crow, which we're trying to get into making a TV show, so I'm trying to not like criticize as much. And of course they had David Boreanaz from Buffy and Angel. I'm a big fan of that guy. I think he needs to play Chris Redfield desperately. That needs to happen. But yeah, easily the worst of the Crow films, I think. Wicked Prayer. Yep, that was it. Are you worried about undercuts in your sculpt, Rikk? Hot topic, Gothrick. No, not yet. But I probably should. I read the Rob Zombie Crow. I forgot all about that. That Rob Zombie, yeah. Oh man, they were gonna have like what Ja Rule play him? Was that it? They had like some rapper that was gonna play him in one movie, and that was a terrible idea. Crow 2029. Oh man, I've never heard of that. The Crow with the 4 Horsemen was just bad, like really bad. Yep. It was a strong idea though to have like 4 Horsemen. Have that kind of a theme. I thought it was a really strong idea. They just executed it terribly. Man, we're getting really into The Crow. The Crow was possibly the only thing that ensured Laser Mission ever got released a video. We wanted to riff Laser Mission really bad, and then we found out Josh Wade was working on it. We're like, oh, don't want to steal Josh's thunder there. It's tough enough to get people to watch riffing. We don't want to spread anything that thin. Might be, well, shit, we might want to think about it for the last episode of ICWXP now. Enough time has passed. Because we haven't tacked down our film yet. And last I looked, that movie was in decent-ish condition. We really want to find something that is well preserved, and if we could get it in high def, that would really be sweet, or at least like a good print. Like that's one of the reasons we've kind of moved away from the movie riffing a bit. Is they're like, we get so many comments from people like, I think you guys are really funny, but I can't stand to look at this piece of shit. And like it's like, I hear you, man. Like, but at the same time I don't hear you, because I've watched this movie like probably literally 70 times. And like, you don't even know what pain is when it comes to looking at these terrible like digital rips of terrible prints. So yeah, I have heard like, man, it's just so that, and like the films are boring. That's somebody who probably you don't really want to worry about pandering to a whole lot if they're gonna be like complaining about that stuff. But they're not a true Misty, I guess you could say. I don't know. Talking out of my ass at this point. That is something we deal with though. It's like really bad prints, films, turning people off. They don't want to watch. We compare is loosely based on the first Crow film. Adam Poole has only seen the first Crow film. Well, you're done. Don't watch anymore. Fun fact: the original Yellow Power Ranger was a bad guy in Crow 2. What? The chick that was on the TV show? That sounds right. Bad movies need to be in VHS quality. It's part of the charm. Yeah, dude. I agree. That's like if you go back and watch the old MST3Ks, like Space Mutinies one, really any of them, I guess. Um, they have that VHS look, and it is part of it, I guess. Like we're riffing a Funko Land training video this month. We're going to shoot for it tomorrow, actually, and it was uploaded. You know, it's like from '93, so it's got 4:3 aspect ratio, and Rad Universe is the name of the people who uploaded it, and they put their watermark down in the corner. So what I had to do was scan and pan it, and if you don't know what that means, it means going into something that's typically a film that's in 16:9 aspect ratio, or even like more than that. You have to go in and adjust it for a new aspect ratio. So you go shot by shot and readjust the focus of the frame, and it's really time consuming. I had to do that to get rid of the watermark, and you've zoomed in on something that already looked terrible. But we have a really good VHS effect filter, and if you overlay that on top of something that's already pretty crappy looking, it kind of helps. It's funny. It's like, this looks terrible. Well, we'll make it look even more terrible, and then like somehow it looks better. It's really weird. But yeah, so we put that VHS effect over the Funkoland video. I would hate to see it like full screen. It probably looks just as bad, and it's just in my head. But it seemed to help. And you're right, that VHS effect, it helps. It feels, I don't know. It takes you back, I guess. I don't know. I agree. Castle of Fu Manchu quality. Ooh, that's rough. Have you ever seen the newer live-action Street Fighter series? Street Fighter Assassin's Fist Resurrection. The live action. Yes, I have seen that. It focuses on Ken and Ryu, right? Fat guy in Congo, Kong face. It's terrifying, even enough in low quality. I haven't seen Castle of Fu Manchu in a while. Yeah, they got like perfect casting, especially on like Ken. If I'm thinking of the right thing, it was kind of a low budget thing. Maybe they kickstarted it. I don't know. I thought that was wonderful. It's like, why isn't this on Hulu? I think it might have gotten somewhere better than just YouTube. I think it did. I don't know. It's so hard to keep up with shit, man. Reminded of the VHS tapes in RE7 that are somehow high quality rather than terrible. Yeah, that's funny. It's interesting, you know, if you know even a little bit about film or video or anything, like you see stuff all the time where it's just like they don't care. The average person isn't gonna like pick up on it, because you know you're watching stuff on Resident Evil 7 on these VHS tapes. It should really be 4:3 aspect ratio, which means, you know, black bars on the side, letterboxed. Nope, 16:9, no letterbox. It doesn't make any sense. Weird alternate universe where DVDs are actually VHS. Oh, mind blown. I don't know. Well, TBF, they are filmed on GoPro. Must be. You can see both characters. Yeah. Yeah, man, I forgot about how many little goofs are in Resident Evil 7. Because I started. That's one of the things when you sort of script out stuff. You know, you become hyper aware of every little thing. I think that's why on MST3K they were able to catch so many mistakes and things, because you're not watching it live, you know. Because I remember being in editing for that and like, okay, I gotta go back up. They established you're carrying a video camera, and then you see both hands. And your character's talking, so they're not holding it in their mouth. This stuff's so funny to me. Man, that game was so good until it turned into a Resident Evil. Ooh. Is that shots fired at Resident Evil? See, my problem with it was I didn't like first person. I'm not really a first person person. Um, I guess I could kind of agree with what you're saying there, Scott, because uh, when you get to the most Resident Evil parts of it, it kind of jumps the shark a little bit because it's like with the shit that happens with Jack Baker, what he eventually turns into, and we haven't done the DLC. It gets even more ridiculous in the DLC. It's like, yeah, this is a Resident Evil trope, but the tone of the game has been kind of like a little. It seems weird to say more realistic, but it kind of was. And then you got into like Resident Evil tropes, like oh, giant monster man. Like it was like, oh, this seems extra cartoony. Yellow Power Ranger. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce her first name. Trang died near San Francisco after a car accident, dying before reaching the hospital due to internal injuries and sustained. Oh, that's terrible. She had sustained shortly before. Oh my God, what is it with Power Rangers and just tragedy? There's that other. It was like one of the Red Rangers got arrested or something. Like there was some kind of a katana sword involved, if I remember. Thanks to MST3K, Perry Mason is much more interesting. The Leech Woman, John Agar, and the mousy dude from House on Haunted Hill were in it. They filmed with the camera that recorded with VHS but didn't use their hands. That was so weird. Who was holding the camera? Yeah, it's very strange. I miss the days of zombies and Resident Evil games. Yeah, me too, man. Like I can understand why they moved away from it. It was time to do something different. It's kind of funny with zombies because if you think back to the first one that ditched the zombies, which was Resident Evil 4, they were kind of ahead of their time in like moving away from it. Because I mean, I want to say zombie culture is like dead now. Ha 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 ha. Like I'm shocked The Walking Dead is well. I don't know how much longer The Walking Dead's gonna be able to hang around now that they've done what they've done with their cast or lack of. But I loved zombies in the 90s way before they really blew up. And I'll love them when they're not popular anymore, which is, I guess, probably now. And that's kind of why we're doing this. That's the funny thing about Great Colored Glasses is it actually started off as season 3 for ICW XP. And we're going to have the guys leave the theater and be out in the thick of it. And the plot arcs I wanted to do were, well, not necessarily the plot arcs, but just certain things I wanted to have happen where it's like, ooh, this is a little dark for these puppets to be even to like you can't have people crying and death and stuff with like real emotional weight to it and have something that looks like Topsy. I think like maybe you could do that, but it would probably take a filmmaker a lot more talented than me to like balance those tones. So you decided like this needs to be its own thing for sure. That's kind of how this thing got off the ground. And then it was like, even years ago, I came up with this concept for these nanomachine zombies. Even years ago, I was like, zombies, man, I don't know how much longer these things are going to be. People will put up with this. So this is about forgetting all of that stuff, kind of, and turning the zombie rule book on its head. Let's see, let's get caught up on comments. I get unreasonably annoyed when you get to the part where you play as Mia recorded her video message and she closes her eyes for a while and you're still seeing her do it, though her eyes... I don't remember quite what that part is, but yeah, that sounds really stupid. Still got RE1, 2, and 3 on PS1 discs at least. Nice, dude. I don't have any of those anymore. Next season is the last one, I believe, for Walking Dead. I believe you are correct, AZ. They've... I don't know. I don't want to throw out spoilers, even though it's been a while yet. What they chose to do, they've closed themselves off to so many of the interesting storylines that follow where they're at. Like, they can't happen now. I mean, I guess you could use a different character, but it's just gonna seem stupid because it revolves around that specific person and their personality and their age, and I just don't see how they're gonna survive past another season. So I agree. I'll just keep reading the comic books. I've always liked the comics, and they're still there. And yeah, I have not. I don't know. I haven't really been. I've been kind of hate watching it since season 2. I, I watched for a long time, and I finally, I think around, was it season 4 or 5, said I had enough, and I stopped watching it for a long time. It's just it's so full of itself. There's so many nightmares, including zombies. It's not funny. Oh man, I've had zombie nightmares, and they're always fun. They're not like anything like what it would really be like. It's not like The Walking Dead, where it's showing you how miserable it would actually be. I'm usually like in a very heroic role, and it's kind of a fun movie. Does this happen to anyone else? I'll sometimes have credits at the end of my dreams. And it's the most ridiculous. I think it may be the most ridiculous thing about me is my dreams have credits after them sometimes. Obviously, it's like, gibberish, but music plays and credits roll at the end of my dreams sometimes. It's really hilarious. Walking around the apocalypse landscape and seeing abandoned Kurgabing restaurants everywhere. Ooh, what a vision. All right, I lingered long enough. Thanks so much for everything you guys do. I got to get ready to go play tabletop Star Wars. Keep at it, man. Love your work. Thanks, Jared. It's been really cool hanging out, talking with you, brother. Have a good session. Oh yeah, speaking of old school consoles, snap original Xbox, the Goodwill outlet for $5. Works perfectly. Just needs a dusting all around. Cool, man. I don't know where my original Xbox is. I think I sold it, or it's collecting dust in a garage somewhere. I hated how the zombies were completely worthless until they needed to be deadly. You must be talking about Walking Dead. Yeah. They're not really... I mean... I totally am on board for... Like, one of the reasons I stopped watching horror movies, really, when I was younger, was, like, I got bored of no character development. It's like, I don't care when these stupid, horny college kids that have no character die. Like, who gives a... it's like... So, I'm not one of those people that's like a gore hound, and I just want horror and action or anything. Like, you need that. You need to care about the characters deeply. And... but balance, dude. Because I just... Here's the problem. Here's the problem with The Walking Dead. And this video will come back to bite me in the ass one day if I ever get anywhere with the new show. It has a handful of really interesting characters. I really like Rikk. I really like Michonne. I like Daryl, although I don't know what they're doing with him anymore. Carl, as irritating as he was for a while, really started to... Actually, he kind of started to get irritating again. But he makes for... The storylines come from him that are good. And, let's see, I said Michonne, right? And I can think of a few others. The show should really just be those characters. Those characters are interesting. But their cast is massive. And I know it's that way in the comic book too. But they think all of their characters, it seems like to me, are all equally fascinating. And they're not, man. I know they're trying to like have something there for everybody, and that it is important, but I don't know. There's just so many characters that I don't care, man. Oh, I didn't mention Glenn. Glenn was an interesting character. And I don't know, man. It's everything in balance, everything in moderation. Like have you guys seen Fear the Walking Dead? Like I swear I watched 3 episodes of that, and there was like, I want to say at least 1 episode with no zombies, and that's probably not true, but it felt like it. And it's just like, I don't know who this is for. Let's see. The quality standard DVHS is actually superior to the average DVD. since this speed has a much higher bitrate. DVHS? I don't know that I've ever heard of that. Ooh, that's embarrassing. If it's a whole like media quality or medium that I don't know about. DVHS. I don't think I've ever heard of that. Is it like D-VHS? I feel like I've heard of VHSs that are like have kind of like a prefix like that. Have you ever considered Rock and Roll Nightmare for 206? Yes, Andrew. We have. I actually have it on DVD. I think we kind of lost interest in it after Rift. I think Rift Tracks did it, right? But I mean, the whole riffing community is so kind of like fractured at this point. Maybe that's silly to worry about. We were going to do Star Crash, and then that, of course, the new season of MST got it, and I believe Shout Factory owns it, and I don't think they're probably going to be down to sell us the rights to riff that. Yeah. But yeah, I have watched Rock and Roll Nightmare. It is great. It would be perfect for us. I agree. No credits, but I have known Rod Sterling to do narrations at the end. Xbox original had such a good library. Yeah, man. It did. Oh, God. Rock and Roll Nightmare. Horror movies are moral lessons. Yeah, man. No premarital sex. No marijuana. More zombie cosplayers. Bup! I'm glad Bup is catching on. There's so many shows now trying to do the whole 24 cast members thing. Now they were trying to fit in like 8 plot lines. Another reason I enjoy Ash vs. Evil Dead. Keeps it simple. Yeah, dude. Kiss. Keep it simple, stupid. On gray colored glasses, like the core team is probably going to top out at 4 characters. I guess maybe 5 if you count Cordy. And there will be more, as I guess you could call them, secondary characters, but the focus is going to be on not a whole lot of characters, and that's why you end up with seasons that are like way too long. Ooh, I like how this pattern came out here. I'm going to adjust this a little bit. You guys are, oh man, we've been coming up on 2 hours. Jeez. I don't see people live stream for much longer than that, but I mean, Rift Tracks did do it. Yeah, I thought so. Let's see. Too bad. Ash vs. Evil Dead. I heard that. That sucks. I was enjoying Ash vs. Evil Dead a lot. That was why the reboot without Bruce Campbell didn't work for me, man. Like I know the first Evil Dead was not a comedy, at least on purpose. And I understand why the remake by logic shouldn't be a comedic film or have comedy elements in it. I never saw the reboot. And maybe that's closed-minded, but I just like, man, without Bruce, this is probably not a whole lot there for me. I'm not, and like modern horror is basically torture porn. This is not my thing. So I was very happy to see Ash vs. Evil Dead. Like, that's what the fans wanted. I was very happy to see that come about. Yep. I don't know. Did they ever say... was it ratings, I assume, right? Maybe they should go back to the Laserdisc format. Just imagine trying to store Laserdisc movie and TV series collections. I actually completely missed Laserdisc. I never owned a Laserdisc player. I never had any. Sorry about the beeping noise, guys. That's probably annoying. I bought a Laserdisc player off eBay, and just to play the movie Slipstream with Mark Hamill and, oh God, this is embarrassing. I can't remember his name. He just passed away. Bill Paxton. Right? Yeah. Was talking with a huge fan of Slipstream because we were looking at it to riff it for our last episode of ICWXP. And the quality off the DVD version, not great. I heard the Laserdisc was really quite high quality, and I contacted, like, it has a little cult following. I contacted somebody on a message board dedicated to the Slipstream, and they let me borrow their laser disc, and I went through all of this trouble of ripping a laser disc, which is really complicated, actually. And, yeah, it's about the same quality. So, yeah, laser discs are crazy. I couldn't believe how big it was. We took a photo with it, I'm pretty sure. Let's see. People are lamenting the end of Ash versus Evil Dead, rightly so. Let's see. Yeah, they said they filmed the last episode as if it were the series finale, which it was. Bummer. Heard the original plan for Evil Dead remake was to follow it with AOD 2, Army of Darkness 2, and then do a crossover. That would have been cool. Not a big fan of modern horror movies. I don't... Yeah, I'm not either, man. I mean... This is not anything revolutionary to say, because it's been said 100 times, but jump scares are not horror. It's not... It doesn't... It's startling you. Being startled is not the same as being scared. Like, you have to establish an atmosphere. And they try to do that, I guess, with jump scares, but it's an atmosphere established over a course of a few seconds. Like, they don't play the long game. You need to establish a world and an atmosphere to really truly creep someone out, I feel. That, and I can actually live with. I'm so sick of just starting to get into shows that leave on a cliffhanger, then just drop before resolve. At least this way, it's a contained story with an end. Yeah. Everybody hates that, man. When we film 206 of ICW XP, I mean, we're not going to... it's already written, but we're going to leave it on a note that's like, if that's the last thing, then cool. But also, if something ever happens, we're not going to leave it on a note that's like we can't go back and do more. Rob Zombie's take on Halloween made me stop going to modern horror. He feels like an abuser and his audience is his victim. Damn! Andrew is opening up fire on Rob Zombie. I didn't hate that first one too much, man. I'll be honest, but the second one, I thought that was abysmal. I hated it. Only saw Laserdisc at school. We weren't that high tech where I went to school. No Laserdiscs. Never seen a Laserdisc in person. I only seen them on video. Angry Video Game Nerd Dead. They're massive, dude. It's crazy. Me neither, Adam. I still really only like the collection of horrors from the era of physical puppetry gore. Fright Night, Evil Dead, Alien, good stuff. I like the old school horror movies. Those hold up better. Yeah, man. Modern films are usually more about using as much blood as possible with little else. Yeah, agree. Agree. There are 3 categories of art horror, terror horror, and gore. Revulsion. Yeah, I see a lot of gore's sake. Gore for gore's sake is ridiculous. It's just like, okay. I mean, if it crosses over into comedy, like with Dead Alive, fine. That's one thing, but... I actually like the fantasy elements put into some of the old slashers. Yeah, yeah, like Phantasm. Would you consider maybe that? Have fantasy elements, I guess? Sort of like tech fantasy, I guess. Jump scare is an ingrained natural response to possible danger and animal defense mechanism. To induce actual fear, horror takes effort, actually connecting with the human element. There's a much more elegant way than I put it. Gavin Mation. Agree. Terror as the suspenseful moment in horror for the actual monster is revealed. Horror is that moment at which one sees the creature, aberration that causes the terror or suspense a shock value. Yeah. And that's something on gray colored glasses, because there are definitely horror elements, because that's what we're working on one of them right now. It's very important that you don't see these things in their full glory too soon. The way the character that I'm probably going to be playing, if this thing gets made in the next century, he wears glasses that let him see what his drone is seeing, Cordy, and that's how we're going to disguise these things, because it's kind of like thermal vision. You're not going to see these, because there's a scene where he's kind of dealing or avoiding them right off the bat. And we're going to use the thermal vision to kind of hide them. Like they're just going to be sort of humanoid forms. And then he's going to see one out of the ordinary through the thermal vision. And then that's it for a while. You're not going to really get to see them in their full glory right off the bat. Although that's a funny thing, though, to go with. They think about how you're going to market it, because we have a scene we're going to shoot for the proof of concept that we want to put up on Kickstarter. And you're going to see them in their full glory there. So that's a tricky thing. Because the proof of concept is set after all the characters have met and they have a rapport with each other, and you kind of have a camaraderie going on. And dealing with these things is starting to become a routine for them. And then if we actually get to make a short film of it, or whatever it's going to end up being, you're going to go back in time and before they've met each other. So that's an interesting thing to think about. You kind of spoil your monster that way, I guess, don't you? Phantasm is awesome. Yeah, I need to go rewatch that. It's probably been 10 years since I watched it. Horror and comedy are the hardest to do well. You need to know when to stop and when to keep the joke or scare going. Yeah, it's tough, dude. You can do terror with just dialogue and sound effects. Some radio shows can be downright scary. Looking at You, Space Force Episode 1 from the early 80s. The Evil Within is a messed up movie. Yeah, I mean, you can... I liked Evil Within 2 a lot better. I didn't get to play it. I watched two best friends play through it. Way better. Yeah. I played it. Did I play a little bit? I think I did play like a demo or something. I don't know. It's supposed to be like Resident Evil 4 Part 2. Didn't really have a whole lot of story to it. There's a lot of messed up imagery, though. That would have been awesome if it had a little more weight behind it. I feel like even the most over-the-top gore, like Dead Alive, is less offensive than glorifying the real mechanisms of serial killers like Zombie did with the psychological progression in Halloween. Yeah, I would agree with that. I like horror films with good atmosphere like the original Night of the Living Dead. There you go. Yeah, dude. I don't know what zombie movie I saw first. That's terrible. I don't remember, man. I want to say I played Resident Evil before anything, and that's what got me into zombies. And then I either went and watched Night of the Living Dead, the original, or it was the remake that Tom Savini did. And I was like, oh yeah, dude, I love this shit. This kind of... You guys probably can't see this. These kind of dig into the skin a little bit. I'm going to probably put some hex blanks in here and call it a day on as far as putting beads in there in that area go. BBs. These blanks are actually really hard to come by. I had to special order these things from Turkey. Somebody was selling them on Etsy. And shipping actually was shockingly not that bad. I ran out of them. I sold them out of them really fast. And I was thinking about making a mold so I could just crank out a ton of them, but it's really expensive to mold shit, dude. So I was lucky enough to find someone else selling them, and I don't remember what country they came from. I want to say Turkey as well. They're a brand and everything. Lucy by... or Timo, and Belgium. Looks like these are from Belgium, or at least they're manufactured there, I guess. But managed to clean them out, and I think I have enough to finish this guy. And obviously, once this is molded, this original sculpt will be destroyed, and I'll recycle all the BBs and all of the blanks and use them on the next one. Born in the 90s, and I think I played Resident Evil 2 before ever seeing a zombie film. Cool, man. I wish I was born in the 90s. 82. A nightmare version of an abortion doctor used his eyeball to scope out the main character's inner reproductive workings. The class was dead silent. Oh, this is your movie you're talking about. Yeah, man, you turned your classroom into Silent Hill, literally. I'm still trying to comprehend that concept. Yeah, you've blown everyone's mind, Man Under Mask. Script ended up becoming more like Army of Darkness with Woman Deadpool. Crazy. All right, what are we up to now? Yeah, we're at 2 hours and 10 minutes. Jesus, guys. Yeah, I'm probably going to wrap it up here in a minute. We did manage to get one super chat from Mark, which is super cool. Do you guys watch, like, let me know, do you guys watch a lot of YouTube live streams? This is the first one I've ever done. And I noticed a lot of channels I follow are using it to kind of supplement their income, their online income with the super chats. One of the reasons we're over here on Agno Wolf Media is because Robot Co-op is still not monetized. They told us you have to have 1,000 subscribers, which we got no problem because enough of you crossed over from here, and you need 4,000 watch hours, and we've blown past that. We're at 13,000 watch hours on Robot Co-op, and they sort of moved the goalposts on us. They were saying by end of April they'll let us know if we make the cut or not, and now it says June. And I fully expect by end of June, be like, September. So yeah, that and gray colored glasses stuff feels a little off topic on Robot Co-op. So we're over here on Agno Wolf Media. But Agno Wolf Media is fully monetized. You guys can send in super chats over here. I think the minimum's $2. This concludes my e-begging segment of the live stream. But yeah, the money situation is getting to be a bit dire. Our Patreon seems to have kind of, like, we can't get past $2,000. Like we hover around 1,800, and I think we were hanging out over $2,000 for like a month or two, and that was pretty cool. But that seems to be the wall, and it's because, like, if we could reach new people on YouTube, you'd reach more people that are willing to help us out and kind of go above and beyond the call of YouTube duty. But we can't seem to reach new people. Like, that's been one of the big bummers about the new channel, is it's like I've seen a handful, maybe, like, I almost want to say like less than 10 people I don't recognize. And if you don't count the 1,000 of you that came over there, we've only got like, what is it? We've only gotten like 200 subscribers in the like almost 6 months we've been over there. And that's that's not good. So there may come a time when we try to work a deal out with our patrons to where we become a monthly Patreon account. And instead of, because right now we're a per video or per thing Patreon, meaning we charge you per thing we make through Patreon, which is the one thing a month. It's the one like mainline Robot Co-op episode, and we may try to test the waters to see if you guys would be cool with us just working on ICWXP 206 and just working on this, on gray colored glasses. And that might sound scary and like you're not going to see anything anymore, but we would be doing stuff like this regularly, hanging out with you and showing you what's going on with gray colored glasses in ICWXP 206, because the view problem, man, like, you try to ignore it and just go like, well, I'm having fun, and, you know, like, I'm paying at least half of my bills, and I'm finally being able to hand my friends a few bucks. But it's really tough, because you want to really hammer home how grateful you are. Like, our Patreon's crazy successful. Like, I'll go look at other YouTubers that are kind of big, and they don't pull in anything like what we do. And I think that might be because, you know, they kind of appeal to like 12-year-olds, and 12-year-olds can't really donate on Patreon. That's where appealing to a slightly older crowd really comes in handy. Um, but yeah, it is getting rough, man. Like we gotta really start bringing in some serious dough, or it's not. It's going to be kind of the end of everything. Won't be any videos of any kind. So that's why, you know, things might get a little. Things are getting experimental as of late. So anyway, I'm going to get caught up on chat. Shaun of the Dead. Tried to watch all the Romero zombie movies, but school started back up again. Yeah, stop after Day of the Dead. Misty 98. That's the last Romero zombie flick you should probably check out. People really hated Land of the Dead, but I can admit it's not very good, but or even bad, but I remember watching it and I don't know, maybe it was nostalgia for George Romero zombie flicks. I didn't hate it. Andrew has a script called Remainder, based on life events. That is a real life mix of Jacob's Ladder and A Beautiful Mind. That sounds terrifying. A man works to complete a formula that could save his failing psyche, but is bested by other forces. Maybe unreal. Crazy. Remainder. I definitely watch if you did more live streams. Thanks, Adam. Yeah, you kind of have to. Blade Lude? Man, I can't, like, you're gonna find out real quick. I butcher screen names. Thanks for the $10 super chat, my friend. Enough for half a Minsky's pizza? Yeah, actually, that's exactly what half of a Minsky's pizza would cost. Yeah, thanks, dude. Thanks for the super chat. That's so cool. Really appreciate that. Next Minsky's pizza is in your honor. Let's see. Let's get back up where I was. I watch more YouTube streams than Twitch because it's more convenient, as I'm pretty much always on YouTube. I do think the chats are a lot more personal here. But yeah, I do. I completely agree, Gavin Mason. Yeah, it's funny. Like I live on YouTube. I'm on YouTube all day long. And it does. Oh, thank you, Maker the Abolitionist, for the $2.99 super chat. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. No comment. That's okay. Thank you. Yeah, I've been following a few channels as of late, kind of covering all of the insanity that's going on with the comic book industry and with Star Wars, and they do live streams almost every day, and it's super personal. That's kind of the thing, you know. With Twitch, you have to go to a whole other website, and you have to get all signed up there and everything. And some people just, you know, it's not as convenient. It seems so silly to say, like, oh, you have to go to a whole other website. Oh my God, the effort. But it's real, man. Like that's kind of how it is. At the same time, like you go on Twitch and people actually seem to be able to find you. It's kind of tough because like when you get a follow on there, you're always like, you want to stop the game and be like, hey, have you heard of us before? Are you one of our YouTube subscribers, or are you totally new to us? Because you really want to know if, you know, it's people coming over from YouTube, which is awesome. But what you really want to know is if it's someone who's never heard of you. Are you reaching new people? So, another super chat from Charles Brent Chapman, $5. Thanks, man. Really appreciate that. Thank you. It's Welsh, Rick. No need to apologize. Thanks, man. Yeah, I'm a freaking redneck from Kansas. So at this point, anyway, I was born in New Hampshire, but I've lived in the Midwest all my life. I feel like I'm cultured because I can use chopsticks, and that's about as far as it goes. Just about the first live stream I've watched because it's you, Rick. Oh, thanks, dude. I'm catching back up on your comments. That's super nice. Thank you. I'll say I personally do prefer YouTube streams, but I know a lot prefer Twitch. Yeah, here's the thing, like, with this is just my cell phone, and we're just hanging out. And, I mean, obviously, like, we're on Agony Wolf Media, and now that has a broad name, it can be just about anything. With Twitch, like, it is, like, this whole area over here, man, is, look at that disgusting floor. It's clay. It's a lot of work for us to stream on Twitch, at least when we're using like puppets and everything. Man, this thing is getting droopy. There we go. That works. Because I have to run the technical side of things and play the game, and then try to at least get one zinger in per stream somewhere. And Jason is sometimes running eyes on Flux. Sometimes we have help with that. Sometimes we don't. And now we've added the hands, and Twitch is really, really complicated for us. And it's complicated if you're just a solo Twitch streamer that does it all yourself too. You know, I mean, but for us, it's really, really complicated. And we have an overheating issue with our computer. We have to get figured out before we. I think I've got it figured out, but we've got to get that fixed because the last stream we did with God of War, I think it rebooted. I think due to overheating, like 4 or 5 times. Is really embarrassing. Really, really sucked. Let's see. Man Under Mask says, all of mine, I assume your scripts have a main character who lost their significant other. Yeah. Is that influence from The Crow? Because that's probably where those stories have the most impact for me. I know people are like really down on kind of like romance nowadays. It's like, oh, so cheesy. And like, what was it? Daisy Ridley was saying in an interview. Somebody was kind of bringing up romantic possibilities for the new Star Wars movies, and it's just like, well, you know, friends can have romantic moments, and it doesn't have to be blah blah blah. I was like, oh God, that tension is, I feel like, really important to like stories. Like I get a lot more invested when there's something like that. Like I never thought a video game could make me cry, and then Final Fantasy VII. I was like, and they weren't even together, man. That was even more brutal because it was kind of like looking like they were setting it up for that, and then that happens. It's devastating, right? That's funny too, because you look back on it and you look at those little blocky characters with the little Popeye arms, and yeah, it's a testament to the power of music, really. Let's see. My schedule doesn't usually let me watch live streams. Today I happened to be off, so this was a nice surprise. Okay, cool. Appreciate the insight. I've been wanting to do more. I'm just broke at you know me. I'm just broken. Yeah, I know how being broke goes, man. YouTube streams actually work on my laptop. Yeah, I've seen a lot of people kind of say, like, I can't do Twitch. And I'm always like, huh? Like, and I'm like, do you have a slow internet connection or something like that? And then like some of them say like, no, it just doesn't work. And I'm like, what? I've never really gotten anyone to clarify for me like what exactly isn't working for them. Can't afford to do month patron, but I'm going to see about buying some merch from your website store at least. Have my eye on several things I want to get as soon as I can. Well, you know, that's the funny thing about our merch. Like, if you're talking about T-shirts anyway, we don't get any money from those, actually. If you're getting DVDs or stuff like that, absolutely, that helps us out. The shirts are so overpriced to have made to order. We actually opt to not get anything from them because you guys would be paying like $30 for a freaking T-shirt. And that's just absurd, in my opinion. But yeah, anything else helps out big time. Thank you. I really like the pattern on the neck with the hex things and BBs. Thanks, man. Working on it. I don't know about these guys. These are a different hex that I tried out, and they took forever to show up. These also came from a foreign country. I don't remember where. And they're not the same as these guys. And I don't know if I might rip all these out and replace them with the wooden ones. These are actually brass, I think. Yeah, I'm just kind of going where the wind takes me on here while I'm chatting with you guys. I don't know. Oh, no, we lost one. Right here. We'll go back in and get that. Oh, this is way behind. Okay, I'm going to catch up. My laptop hates Twitch. Use it for riff tracks and pro wrestling. Man Under Mask, do you use the laptop to actually strike people in pro wrestling, or is it for watching pro wrestling? That's an important distinction. Standing ovation for Charles? Yes, for a super chat. Love it. I follow you here and on Twitch. Thanks, Adam. Furious clapping for donators. Yes, thank you. Watch a fair amount of live streams. I'd watch more. Couldn't use simulcast live and Twitch. Yeah, we actually were going to almost try that last time to do Twitch and YouTube at the same time, but we opted not to because we were trying out something new with Flux having hands, and we just didn't want to add any more to our plate. But we will probably, if we're able to get back on Twitch and get our overheating problem taken care of and we can find time, we'll probably try to do that. Go to YouTube and Twitch at the same time. Let's see. God of War stream kept rebooting because of your lack of beard power after a while. Yeah, man. I keep it pretty trimmed now. It wasn't cutting the mustard. Let me rephrase. Only issue with YouTube streaming is I don't know how much better it is for pulling in new or passing viewers, i.e. promoting your streams to non-subs while you're live. Yeah, probably. I mean, it really does seem kind of like just a thing for the subs you already have, maybe. Like when you're live streaming, you don't even punch in tags or anything. At least when I set this stream up, it doesn't. Maybe I missed something, but actually, I think it might have been offering me some tags, but they were like pre-picked ones. It did not apply to anything. So I don't know. That's a good point. I didn't think of that. But if we do start focusing less on online content, like what the views suggest we should probably think about, and start focusing more on getting these two big projects, ICW XP206 and Gray Colored Glasses, out the window, it's going to be something that we do a lot to stay in touch with you guys. Because at that point, at least until we have something we can start a Kickstarter for Gray Colored Glasses, we're not going to care a whole lot about views, which will be good for my state of mind. And we're going to care about more communicating with just you guys. Mark Brown, thank you for the super chat. $6. Very much appreciate that. Thank you. Stream is very acceptable. Nominal. Most pleasing. I should be better at the Kurger Bang thing, man. I had to edit all of that. God of War stream kept rebooting. Yep. Stream is very acceptable. Rick, what are your top 3 horror movies? Probably can't count The Crow as a horror movie. Halloween, definitely. Probably my favorite horror movie. I really fell in love with Michael Myers. That sounds weird to say. So Halloween, top 3. Probably that. Texas Chainsaw Massacre. The original, of course. God, I haven't watched. I was really into horror movies when I was younger, and I just got kind of bored with the formula after a while. It's just, oh, dumb, horny college kids, and then God, I don't know. Those are the only 2 I can think of right off the top of my head. Later on, I'll like be really angry at myself. I didn't think of, like, oh, of course that one. I'll have to think more on a third one, man. I've been out of the horror movie game for a long time. Oh, yeah, exactly. Night of the Living Dead. Probably though. Dawn of the Dead would be in there. That's a little more fun than Night of the Living Dead. Let's see. Sponsored by Kurger Bang. Yeah, I wish. We found out Burger King actually owns the rights to the name Kurger Bang for some reason. Sculpt looks good. Looking forward to the final appearance. Thanks, Adam. I want all things Agony Wolf Media. Thanks, dude. We want you to have everything. We need you to have everything. I have more than enough on my plate. Yeah, Hitman. That's one of the... I've been laughing at silly shit in video games since the onset, man. I remember playing Road Rash 3D with a buddy of mine back in high school, and like game just had a glitch meltdown, and I remember it so vividly. It was so funny. And I used to record stuff on VHS from games back when I was in high school, in grade school. So I was making sort of and I would share them with my friends. So I was kind of making let's plays back in the 90s, dude. And it's just like, I wish I kind of stuck with it. Because I was kind of ahead of my, this is getting really arrogant sounding, but I was kind of like ahead of my time in that way. Should have thought of things. That's the bitch, man, as a creator. Like, you're always kind of like, I wish I could go back in time with what I know is going to be popular now and get a jump start. Hey, Solid Gamer. My hands are bleeding from all the ovations. Ouch. Fell in love with Michael Myers. Smashing, baby. Very acceptable. Sculpt, worthy of the Kurgaming mascot. Oh, God. That would be perfect, right? Let's put that on the sign just like you would at Wendy's and everything. I'm probably going to stop. It seemed silly to call this sculpting at this point since I'm doing it this way. The sculpting part's really over, but I think I'm going to stop messing with that and kind of chat with you guys for just a minute before we wrap it up, because we're already at 2 hours and 30 minutes. How did that happen? Can I flip this around so you guys can see me? I can. There we go. Ooh, that's not flattering. Okay. Yeah. Well, here I am for a second. Hi. Let's see. What the fuck? Return of the Living Dead kicks ass. I agree, Mark. I didn't actually like that movie at first. I was like, they're being silly, man. I was in like serious teen phase. And later I learned to love it. I'm wondering, when you cast this, even with mold release, will you be spending as much time popping out the BBs and hexagonal bits? I don't think so. What I was doing before, it was very silly. I was using silly putty, and that's why things were sticking. I think the BBs will probably pop out. And someone gave me some advice recently. I need to go look at the message. They told me a certain sort of thing to spray it down with on top of the mold release that'll make it pop right out. So I'm not too worried about that. Good question. Let's see. I actually like the effect of some of those popped out hexagons. Yeah. If this show is ever successful enough to show you the embarrassing first few masks, you'll see just how one-dimensional they were. They were just. Here's a little funny tidbit. I got really bummed out when Resident Evil 7 came out because the molded were really similar in appearance to the masks we were working on. These things were very goopy originally. They were very slimy. Certain things came out, and yeah, I had to kind of rethink, go back to the board a bit. Maker the Abolitionist, thank you for another super chat. Damn them, I wanted a Kurgabing t-shirt. Yeah, I know, man. It's one of those things where it's like you'd probably get away with it, but why risk it? Does Burger King own the crime scene as well? I already clapped for you. We used to laugh at the weird things that happened in Driver 2 on PS. Yeah, man. And that was really fun, Adam, because you could like edit. You could edit your replays. You would get some really hilarious stuff that happened in Driver. Bus backing up fast, going through billboards with no collision detection, people sitting in invisible chairs, so forth. Yeah, dude, you're speaking my language so much right now. I remember playing Driver 1, and some people were sitting at like a table, right? At a cafe. I don't really have anything to represent people, sorry. But and there's like person here, person here, person here. I drove through with my car and wiped out their table, and some of them were just still sitting there at their chairs. I had wiped out these other people in the table, and they were just sitting there. Like nothing had happened, you know? It's just like, oh, I didn't like them anyway. It's really, you give it some really funny reactions from bad AI. How do we give you money? Deepaw, if you go down to the bottom of chat, there's a little $sign icon. It's called Super Chat. If you click on that, I wonder what happens if I click on it. It's letting me do it. That's silly. That can't be right. It's letting me. I could give myself. I'll charge my card to give myself $2. That's weird. If you click on the dollar sign, it'll put you into super chat mode. You click send super chat and type up if you want to say something and send us some cash. Or you can become a patron, but that's a little more of a commitment. Oh man, the Kurger being Kurgan. Oh dude, from Highlander. Excellent. Let's see. I've never seen you without a hat. Whoa, yeah, I'm in the hat club, man. People are always like, "Are you bald?" And I'm like, "No." I I used to have super long hair. Well, not super long. Just regular super long hair. Down to my shoulders, and it started to get a little thin in the back, like something that like most people probably wouldn't really worry about too much, but I guess I'm a little bit vain. It was a little too thin for my taste. And it would get really bad because I used to play in bands and your hair would get soaking playing and like headbanging. And I would never turn my back to the crowd, which you really shouldn't do anyway, really. Um, and it would look like I had a huge bald spot and it would really like mess with me. And like this started when I was like 21. And I started doing weird stuff with my hair. I started like this is like the new metal era, and I very embarrassingly was in a new metal band because that's the only thing anyone wanted to play. And it was either that or play with yourself. And I started doing weird stuff to my hair, like dreads and braids and all kinds of weird dye, and I think it made it worse. So later in life, I just gave up on it, and I just shaved my head bald. So yeah, and it's one of those weird things, man. Because like in my head, I still have like the long hair, and like it's just kind of a thing. I don't like it, so I wear a hat. Uh, Pretty sure it's hit in the stuff on today. A bunch of clips of glitches from WWE 2K17 and 18, including my CW having a seizure cage match. I used to play wrestling games a lot back in like the Nintendo 64 games. I need to play a new one. I bet they've come a long way. Have you ever thought of purposely playing a broken game for the kicks? Yeah, definitely. I'm trying to think. We have some weird games that we've downloaded. Like we have a game called Mega Man in the Mushroom Kingdom. It's not broken. And I just don't think it would hold anyone's attention for very long. Like it doesn't play very well, but it is like Mega Man skinned with like Mario stuff. I'm trying to think. Feel like there's yes. Here, this is a way better response to your question. I want to really do a playthrough of the Resident Evil 1.5 demo because it is busted and it is really funny. We played it a little bit in the Resident Evil 2 stream, but I want to really dig into that. So yeah, playing a broken game is definitely something we are up for. Donate to yourself. Yeah, I almost did. Pay yourself through Super Chat, receive money, infinite income. Yeah. I wish it worked with views that way. Ronald McDonald with a sword, scary. Ooh, yeah, I'm not into that. I love me some hats. Yeah, dude, I have a massive hat collection. Still have my Driver 2 disc. Might try playing it again. Used to park a bunch of buses on bridges that opened at the seam where it opened and watch them. Oh, that's good. That's just good mayhem fun. Yeah. Yeah, we have Driver 2, I think, on our Raspberry Pi. We at least have the first one. Will you end up giving YouTube half if super chatted yourself? Yeah, I don't know exactly how that works out. It won't let me put it through all the way. It'd be like, hey, wait a minute. By the way, Resident Evil 3 was my first Resident Evil game and my first survival horror, so I'm excited for the next game. Yeah, Mark. My first was Resident Evil 1. Immediately hooked on it. That seems to be what people want us to do when we get back on Twitch, but we might be doing State of Decay 2 next. But the next Resident Evil thing is probably going to be Resident Evil 3. So yeah, dude, I usually have shoulder length hair, but I shaved it bald for the first time last month. Oh man, you're the same boat as me. Freaked out at first, but hey, I get mistaken for a girl a lot less, and it's easier to wash. Yeah, I miss having long hair, but it's pretty much just missing it when I see photographs. I'm like, oh, dude, that looks rad. But getting up every day and not having to F with it is great. I really like just not having to mess with it in the shower or anything like that. And I always had kind of stringy hair anyway. Like I didn't really like it would look all right for like photos and stuff. It was a very like superficial thing I had because I was in metal bands. Like it was like, oh, you gotta have long hair, right? Because you really do look kind of silly headbanging with like short hair. I would, God, if I ever played a show again, I wouldn't know what to do now that I don't have long hair. I guess you just stand there. I don't know. The guy from Meshuggah makes it work. Um, but yeah, not having to mess with the hair or worrying about it is pretty sweet. That part of it I'm cool with. My hair curls into Jufro, so I can't grow it long. Oh man, I've played with a few dudes in metal bands with that rock the Jufro. It actually is pretty cool. It's different. Hamlander, ouch. I'm catching that at the end of a thread. I think I missed Hamlander. Was that like the Kurgan stuff from before? Is there ever a chance ICWXP 101 will ever be seen again? Well, Aaron, I mean, you can go see it by going. I'm sorry if I'm telling you this if you already know and you're meaning something else, but you can go see it if you go to icwxp.com/donate. Maybe I can even type it in here for you. If you go and follow that link and you pay or you donate, quote unquote, exactly $12.56, we will send you a DVD copy of it. That link should work, I hope. Did I get that in there right? Yeah, I did. And we will send you a DVD copy of it. I said this earlier, but if we had just infinite time and infinite money, we would go and completely redo that episode, but we don't. We've got so much on our plate right now. Need the episode to complete the collection. Yep, there you go. There is no better place to find hilariously broken games than the Steam indie store. Yeah, that's one thing I learned from John Wolfe. God, we really need to get a PC, man. We really do, because those things are gold mines. Some of the stuff John's found, jeez. Oh hell yeah! Except if it was Hello Neighbor, where it would get more broken further through early access. Yeah, you know what's funny, guys? God, we need to wrap this up. We're going on 3 hours. Secret of Mana, the remake, about an hour after where we stopped, that game becomes a dumpster fire of like it's so crash happy. I can't believe it. Like I work out every other day, and that's the only time I get to play video games is when I'm on the treadmill. And I play for about an hour every other day, and I've been playing Mana, the remake, and I can barely get through it. It keeps crashing. It gets so effed up. I can't believe it. Okay, someone's telling Aaron about the 1256 thing. Thanks, AZ. Played RE2 first when it was way too young to be playing it. I remember I was still in elementary school. Oh, dude, cool. Adam, you must be a little bit younger than Adam. If you don't mind telling us what's your age, I would be interested to know, because like we're always trying to figure out like what exactly the age bracket is that we appeal to. We kind of feel like we're like late 20s, and we have fans I know they're in their 50s. It's pretty interesting. My childhood was made up of Too Young to Watch plays. Watched Evil Dead for the first time when I was 6. Oh man, your young brain did not even know what it was getting there. Got too much on my plate. I will donate when the stream is over, because going to another page will make my laptop explode. Yikes, I don't want that, man. Especially if it's actually on your lap. So a little spoiler to a certain end of a video game. Didn't and certain guy was remade. Looks like that guy's changed back now. How? If you know what I mean. Spoiler. I'm not sure what you mean there, Solid Gamer. Maker the Abolitionist, playing games on a treadmill, accident waiting to happen. Yeah, well, you know what's funny, man? On PS4, I don't have any problems, really. Especially if the game's 2D. I was playing Super Mario Odyssey on my treadmill, and the like 3D stuff, especially if I'm up high, was messing with me. And I was getting some vertigo, so I stopped playing that real fast. Andrew was 42, 1976. Cool, man. Thanks for letting me know. Back in the day, it was easier to confuse some titles, so I played Parasite Eve. Ever do the grueling Chrysler building level? I remember trying to. I started the Chrysler Building thing. I don't think I ever completed it though. I think I was like, oh Jesus, this is for someone more hardcore than me. You could play VR K-Wop on a treadmill. Oh my God. Yeah, I guess that's true. They are integrating treadmills, but you would need like a special VR treadmill so you don't kill yourself, right? I've gotten to play VR once at like a barcade, and they had something that was kind of like Duck Hunt, but it was way more badass. I don't remember what it was called. Maybe it was, I want to say, maybe that was K-Wop. I don't know. That's the only time I've gotten to play VR. People were like, "Are you going to start doing VR stuff?" It's like, well, we can't really because we kind of like pre-script a lot of stuff, and you would have to like mime to the VR headset movement after the fact. It looks super phony. Dude, I hope you guys play Dino Crisis at some point. Mark, you've actually captured some Dino Crisis footage. I want to do Dino Crisis, but things are just not going good with the gaming content right now. It's on the list. We're going to see what happens with this roast video we do later this month with the Funkoland thing. This is weird because I don't want to tell you guys not to support something, but like if it does more views than usual, the gaming stuff might get a little less of an emphasis. But we would still be doing Twitch stuff and reposting it to YouTube and Dino Crisis. Yeah, absolutely, dude. We would. I could definitely see us doing that on Twitch at least. Would love to do like a full main episode on it because yeah, Dino Crisis was big for me when I was younger. God, I don't know how to wrap up a live stream yet, guys, because I just keep going through comments. I'm 30, turned it not long ago. I watched the Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th films and such when I was too young as well. Everybody was like watching effed up stuff when they're too young. Cool, man. I wish I was still 30. Dude, I hope you guys do play Dino Crisis. Yeah, okay, we're caught up. Episode 205 came out when I was in middle school. What? That makes it. That was like, what? Came out last year, didn't it? That's crazy. Cool, man. Okay, so we have some younger folks. Very welcome. Certain RE game, the ending to a video. Someone was remade on the theater. I'm 29. My girlfriend is 19. We both love your stuff. Cool, man. Awesome. I have an age gap like that with my girl as well. Appreciate the ages, guys. I've always kind of wondered. My first R-rated film was RoboCop when I was 5. Damn. Damn. Hard to show Topsy in VR. Yeah. RE7 episode 3. Silent Hill would be my want. Yeah, we want to do Silent Hill too. It's just it stinks the way things work because we do the one episode a month that's like an actual paid Patreon video and it's got like top production quality and it's scripted and everything, and there's so many things, so many games you want to do. And then the other problem too is like the retro stuff it's been Let's Played so much, and it basically comes out to fan service to play it, and which is important. We want to make you guys happy. We want to do everything you guys want to do. But at the same time, you have to think about views, and it's like, how many Silent Hill Let's Plays are on YouTube? Like doesn't help the channel out to do that. But we want to do it anyway because we love Silent Hill and we want to just do what you guys want. So it's always tough. It's always a tough thing to try to deciding on games is really kind of nerve-wracking and mind-wracking. Can't remember my first R-rated movie. I can't either. Well, I guess it was The Crow because I can't remember any before that really. I was so sensitive as a kid. The first Keaton Batman scared me. Oh man. Yeah, I can see that. Being a little spooky if you're a little kid. Would you accept a large one-time donation to play a game on Twitch? I mean, it depends on the game because we get some really. I mean, obviously, Andrew, I trust your judgment a lot more than like some of the randos we get because we've had some like stuff suggested to us before. Like, it's like we can't make fun of that. We can't do that. Like, that's going to be really bad for us to do. I'm not going to get too specific, but yeah, maybe. I'd say maybe to that. It's tough. It also like we're a little scared of like committing to stuff like that right now too, because like I said, if that Funkoland roast gets, I mean, like if it gets something like, you know, three or like if it gets as much as 3 or 4 thousand views as opposed to what we usually get, that's going to be have to be kind of the direction we go in gaming stuff. Obviously, we're not going to stop, but it would have less of an emphasis. So I'm a little hesitant to like promise any games right now. Gavin Mason's 26. AZ is 35. I remember that Jill had the costume from Dino Crisis in our. Yeah, that's true. Brian's 48. Cool, dude. Man Under Mask. Oh, yeah, 35. Hey, me too. I'm 35. MRW Productions. Started watching ICW XP when I was 14. Oh, dude, that's so cool. Awesome, man. So, well, that I can't do that math because I don't know exactly when. Yeah. Has there ever been an explanation as to why Cylon isn't in Robot Co-op? I don't think that we've ever. I think maybe we joked once or twice that he was working on his documentary or something, but trying to line up the online content with the DVD series is going to give you a headache because I don't think you really can. Because I think if we were playing Resident Evil 1 and we were like, hey, we've been playing this for a year because we can only do one monthly episode. And the DVD series, at least in season 2, is like over the course of 2 days or something like that, like hours, like maybe 2 days goes by in season 2. So yeah, there's some serious time dilation going on. The real reason Cylon is in Robot Co-op is because Zach, his voice actor, moved to not Los Angeles exactly, but he moved out to California near Los Angeles, and we sent him off with one of the microphones we use. We don't use that kind of microphone anymore, and he's insanely busy, and it's always like he has so much on his plate. He's playing drums in a band out there, and he has a 9 to 5. We want to get him more involved. We want Zach back to do something. If he's in town next time, I'm going to try to see if we can get Cylon on his Twitch stream. 53, get off my lawn. Nice, dude. That is what you say when you're 53. He's in California getting I feel like I'm going to be 53 in a blink of an eye, man. It's going so fast. Like, because of you guys, I get to do what I want with my time and do this stuff. And like the one downfall is time goes so fast. Time really does fly when you're having fun. He's in California getting a refit. Yep. I assume he needs more puppetry. Sort of. You should post one of those YouTube pools asking ages if you want to. Yeah, YouTube polls. Right. Yeah. That's a good idea. Should do that. As long as you keep your great funny commentary, I'll watch whatever you post. Awesome. Thanks, Adam. Definitely the focus. Always. That's been a hard lesson we've kind of learned lately, is like the game matters a lot. Like we always were like, maybe we got a little cocky. We're like, well, we can make anything funny. People watch, and it's like, oh, people really aren't interested in Secret of Mana no matter how funny we're being. Shit. Getting voice module repairs. That's right. Maybe Far Cry 5, have some fun setting up traps and playing with bodies. I feel dirty. Yeah, we had Far Cry 5 in a poll as to what to play next, and it was, I think, came in 3rd place. I want to play it. I really want to get some actual, like, I really want to get, like, Nick, who voices Topsy, or Flex. I really want to get them playing for real with us. You might see some of that real soon, but not on a PS4 game. Actual, literal robot co-op. He's getting an Avengers ball because Spider-Man 3 isn't relevant anymore. Man Under Mask, you know what's up, dude. You know what Cylon's head is made out of. I have a drawer full of those now. I need to mold them. One game I never saw anyone really do a playthrough on was Wing Commander 4, and it's got Mark Hamill in it. Yeah, that's true. I don't think I've ever really seen a Wing Commander 4. I'm sure it's out there at this point, though. I'm sorry for the confusion. If you need any help with something, see if we can help you with any needs. Thanks, man. We need all the help we can get on pretty much every front. Let's go kidnap Zach. All I need is a mallet and a burlap sack and a car. and quite a bit of gas. That's a long drive out there to California. If anyone's interested, Prismata free on Steam. I'll go check it out. Maybe I can play it if it's Mac friendly. And if you could riff the phone book, I'd watch it. Oh, thanks. You guys are so nice. Thank you. I enjoyed the Secret of Mana playthrough. I watched it all. Thanks, Adam. Appreciate it, dude. I'll meet you in California. Revs engine. It's massively riffable. Yeah, I bet it is. Win Commander 4. Furry jokes alone. I'm with you. All right, guys. Well, all caught up on chat. I think this is probably a good place to call it a day. We're coming up on 3 hours. Oh, that's insane. Well, thanks for hanging out, guys. I did not expect, and we raised $23. Awesome, cool, man. Awesome. That will go right into this. We'll say that whatever like the subject is of the live stream, it'll go towards that. So more clay, or no, it'll go towards molding material to get a mold made of this guy to start cranking out masks. Let me ask you guys something real quick before we go. Do you guys feel like there should be like some hex blank somewhere in this sort of like continent of BBs? I feel like this is like a little bit too much BBs, maybe. Like I feel like in here or in here, maybe. Like I don't know. What do you think? Maybe around the brows. Okay. Sort of here. I feel like in here there should be something. This feels like, I think it works to break up the hex. Yeah, that's why I did it. I was like, no hexes through this section. Maybe something small. I like how asymmetrical it is. I think there should be some blanks, but yeah. Open wound. I like the idea of 3 in the middle. That would add definition to the eyes somewhere. Just BBs look good to me. Okay, cool. So we're kind of half and half on that. I'll sleep on it. All right, guys. Well, geez, I've like antagonized you, like keeping you this long. I feel like I am gonna call it a night. We got a big film shoot tomorrow. We'll shoot some cool extra videos while we're doing it, and we'll do more of this. I want to include you guys a lot more. It's gotten easier and easier to be inclusive and give you guys behind the scenes looks at things. I want to do more of this. Yeah, this was awesome. Thank you to everyone for coming in. Thank you to everyone who gave super chats. This is just awesome, guys. I really had a really good time. We'll do this more often. I'll try to do this damn near every time I work on the thing, so it'll give you guys can watch it kind of in real time. Peace, Coggers and Rikk. Thanks. Yeah, I'm gonna hop off here, guys. I stream on YouTube again. I'll definitely watch if you can. Good luck with the work, Rikk. Really fun chat. Thank you for doing the stream. Awesome. Yeah, thanks for hanging out, guys. This was super awesome. Try to give more heads up if I can next time I'm gonna do this, but it's just kind of like, oh, I have time. I gotta just dive in. But yeah, you guys have a good night. I'm gonna hop off here. Thank you so much for everything. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.